Oh yeah, I pressed live. We're live. So hey everybody, welcome. We're live. Well, hey, so we're done with the last chapter sode of the Paragon of Man is up, and today we're talking to Chuck LaVoki, who plays Doc and Frince and Jerry and a few other people, and you know we totally both weren't up drinking all night last night. So this is also not a hangover episode, but yeah, we're done. What's up? Wait, can you not hear me now?
Oh, I can hear you. I'm just going to do this so I can hear you better.
Yeah, that'll fucking help.
Yeah. Monitor down. Sick. All right. Yeah. Now we're going to talk about book tray.
Or whatever the fuck comes up. But yeah, no, fucking, I don't think too many people have commented on it yet besides, oh, hey, that was a fucking cliffhanger.
And that's why it's called cliffhanger.
Yes.
Mm.
But I mean, you need a cliffhanger at the end.
Is that from Between the Lions? I think that was from Between the Lions.
I don't remember Between the Lions.
I might have been too old for it. I don't know. It was a good show that I caught the tail end of.
What was there a bunch of puppets in it?
I think so. And then different skits that were maybe cartoon. I don't remember that well. I
remember that it happened.
The cliffhanger thing is musical, so that sticks. Yeah.
Well, I mean, you need a good cliffhanger at the end of books. That incentivizes people to read the next one.
Buy my books.
Well, no. I mean, like if they threw the ring into Mount Doom at the end of the first book, why would you read the Two Towers? It's like, all right, cool.
This is the only kind of books that you can buy by the can. They're canned books. If you buy them by the can, you won't have to wait.
I don't know about that. I don't know that you're wrong though. Like,
I don't know. I don't typically search books by the can. Like, like these are canned books. They're preserved. Doomsday preppers. Put your books in cans.
Actually, no. There's one of the Navy SEAL guys. He's got a new book out. Whatever the guy that did. He's got a show with Chris Pratt in it. That's like real big right now. I don't know what his name is, but you can get his new book in a fucking Pelican case with like pretty much the same get up. And I'm not saying that he took my idea, but it's like, oh, that's oddly suspicious. But neat. Thanks, guy. Fucking Navy SEALs. Like they get a book deal straight up boot camp.
These guys are the worst. Yeah, no, that's actually the last section of basic training for Navy SEALs is how to contact ghost authors. No, it's part of their separation training.
Yeah. Well, no. See, like you joke about that.
I can't remember what they called it, but we all had to go to like the getting out school.
Oh, like TAPS, TRS, or whatever.
Yeah, I think it was TRS. Yeah, and they're like, great. So this is how you use LinkedIn, and this is how you wear slacks that aren't part of your service, Charlie's. Like, for SEALs, this is how you contact a ghostwriter. This is how you get an agent.
So I saw one. I don't remember which guy it was, but guy was a SEAL, and he was about to get out, and his commanding officer fucking introduced him to like a fucking military advisor, fucking guy in Hollywood. So like, it wasn't even like at TRS. It was straight up a fucking hookup. I was like, oh, okay. And then from there, he jumped to writing his fucking memoir tell-all fucking thing, but it'd be like that. Fucking the one though that I did enjoy was, you ever heard of Rogue Warrior?
Have I ever heard of Road Warrior? Like
Rogue? No, Rogue.
Oh. Have I ever heard of Mad Max 2, the Road Warrior?
No. There was a book called Rogue Warrior. It was a Navy SEAL tell-all, except for it was by this guy named Dick Marcinko, and he was the guy that founded SEAL Team 6 as like a counter fucking terrorist fucking group. But while they weren't doing counter terrorist shit, like they would like sneak onto like US bases and like break into the fucking like skiff and just like spray paint their name on the back of the skiff and be like, all right, hey, this is where you guys fucking failed. And he got removed from the Navy because he got forced retired because he stole the submarine was parked, but he stole a nuclear weapon off of a submarine. And they're like, okay, man, you can't. But what was great about it was
you're not supposed to do that.
Yeah, but what was great about it was like he had his like memoir tell-all thing. It was called Rogue Warrior, and that was supposed to be like the true story one. And there's like 50 of these books, but like after that, it's all like ghost written. Like, hey, dude, just say I'm the good guy in your story. Have fun, kid. Yeah. Also, Spikest Maple. I can't wait for book 4 is on Audible, dude. It's gonna be a fucking minute before book 4 is on Audible. I think I'm on chapter 14 or 15 now. And Chuck over here is helping me out with it. We're not going to go into too much details right now, but he is my guy that I have listened to it before I put it on Patreon or whatever. But I think we're at chapter 13 or 14 of 40.
I'm not 100% sure. I could definitely check.
Yeah. Anyway, we're not to chapter 15 yet, and book 4 is 40 chapters long, so it's probably not going to be on Audible till Christmas time, maybe February. So we are working on it though, like hard and long into the wee hours of the morning, most mornings, some mornings.
Yeah. No, I've gotten a ton of lines done.
Yeah.
Not gonna say who I'm playing, but I've had more lines in this book. A lot more lines. Yeah.
About a few more.
About a few. Approximately several.
Yeah. But I'm glad you're listening. Spikus Maple. I don't know what makes it maple spiky.
When you first said Spikiest Maple, I thought you were saying Spiky Nipple. I'm like, oh, okay, all right. And then I looked closer at the name.
Spiky Nipples.
Spikiest Maple. I don't know. Crown Royal.
Canadians.
Maple. You're spiking the maple, like.
I mean, you can knock Canadians all you want, but like, Crown Royals, like, I don't know, I enjoy that.
Yeah, if you like spelling your whiskey with without the E.
Yeah. It's really good with Sprite.
That's a Canadian thing, right?
Yeah. Also makes good hot toddies.
Just the word Crown and Coke flows off the tongue.
Yeah. Not big on mixing whiskey and Coke anymore. I'm over that. I'm not in my 20s anymore.
I haven't done it in a very long time. I am, however, drinking a Coke, and I'm about to switch to a whiskey. That doesn't count. They're mixing after the tasting. It's fine.
Yeah, no, because I remember like mixed drinks being like a huge thing like before I turned like 30ish, and then it was like, no, just drink the shit straight, man. If you can't drink it straight, just don't drink that liquor.
Yeah, I remember it was actually shortly after I got out of the Marine Corps that I just stopped drinking Jack and Coke, and then stopped drinking Jack pretty much and started drinking like every other kind of bourbon or bourbon. I started drinking bourbon. Yeah, Jack's not bourbon, I don't think.
Yeah, I think it's just its own fucking thing.
It probably just doesn't have enough corn in the mash to qualify.
Yeah, and like I'm not a big fucking bourbon guy.
I know.
I like whiskey with a EY. I don't know.
Yeah, I think that's how we Yanks spell it.
Yeah,
adding letters to some words and taking them away from others.
Yeah. But yeah, fucking. You know what? That was another one. Like, and the first book, everyone was just a fucking like hardline alcoholic throughout the whole time, and like nobody drank much in the second one for reasons. There wasn't a whole lot of drinking in the fucking third one either.
There was far less drinking in the third book, and yet somehow still plenty of smoking.
Yeah, you have to suspend a little bit of disbelief there.
Mm-hmm. It's one of my favorite bits. I'm just like, well, you're not going to stop writing about them taking smoke breaks, like it's in the title. Like, like none of the covers in the series, as far as I'm aware, have the word smoke crossed out on.
Well, no, man. I mean, if you think about it, like,
Tales from the Pit.
All of us as human beings, for as far back as we can go in any culture, like to sit around a fire and tell stories. And cigarettes are just the little fires we carry with us to tell stories.
The fire, the torch we bear.
I mean, it's a very social fucking drug activity. Fucking, I don't know what the fuck it is.
Drug.
Yeah.
Habit.
Yeah. Thing.
Investment. Liability.
Yeah, dude, Jesus Christ, man. Fucking, I remember fucking, goddamn, being stationed in Camp Pendleton and a pack of cigarettes was less than $4 fucking. That was in California within the last 20 years, not the last 10.
You smoked a lot longer than I did, but I did the math on my cigarette intake and expenditure when I quit. I smoked for exactly 10 years to the day. To the day. Yeah. That was really funny to calculate because I remember it was the day I got to Monterey, California, and my buddy bumped me a few cigarettes and I felt bad, so I just bought a pack. And I got there on it was 5 days before the Marine Corps birthday. I got there on the 5th of November, and I was at a party 10 years later on the 5th of November, and I ran out of cigarettes. And I was too drunk to go get any. And I'm like, I've got friends, I've got booze, I've had a great night, but my night is ruined because I ran out of cigarettes.
Yeah.
like, I'm not gonna have any more fun tonight because I'm out of cigarettes. And I'm just like, that's fucking devastating. Like, I've got to kick this habit. Like, I can't believe that, like, I've got friends and I've got booze and I'm having a good time, but now I'm grumpy and sad because my cigarettes are gone. So I didn't buy another pack. I was done. And then I realized, like, oh man, that was a 10-year habit. Oh, what day did I get to Monterey? Oh my God, that was the 5th of November. Like, I smoked for 10 years of the day. It's fucking crazy. But yeah, I did the math on that, and like, you know, with some wiggle room for error, I probably spent about 25 grand on cigarettes.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it was roughly 4.5 miles of tobacco if you lined them up end to end and cut the filters. Like,
nice.
Yeah.
Nice. It's fucking heroic. But no, the thing is, like, yes, a pack of cigarettes used to be $4 fucking. Like, it's almost. Well, last pack of cigarettes I bought, which was a couple months ago, was fucking like more than $18. And it was like, no.
I was looking at the curve of like when I was doing the math on it, and it's like most of that 25 grand was in the last like 3.5 years.
Yeah,
because they went up so much.
They're goddamn right.
Yeah.
It's like there's nothing to a fucking cigarette, dude. You chop up a fucking plant. Most of this is fucking cigar byproduct. Still, by the way, why the fuck is this more than fucking $4 a pack?
It really didn't help that I started getting like really expensive taste in my cigarettes too. Like, I went from like being happy smoking Winston's or Basics or fucking Pall Malls or whatever the fuck I could get my hands on to like, and I was an adult for my entire smoking habit too. I always had choice. Yeah. Like I was one of the few people who waited until it was legal and then started buying them.
I didn't start smoking until I was fucking 20, I think.
I was 19. Yeah. Like I had them here and there, like in high school, like over the summers and stuff, but like I wasn't a smoker. I consider myself a smoker when I bought a pack and I finished it, and then I kept buying them. I started smoking like exclusively those like Turkish Royals, or like Dunhills.
Yeah, I was a Lucky Strike dude for most of it.
Cigarettes that were expensive when before cigarettes were expensive. Like,
yeah. I mean, except for in Afghanistan, the first time I was smoking, what is it? Chesterfields, and that was just because like the Danish PX had them, and the American one wasn't selling cigarettes wasn't selling tobacco because we just like set up posts there, and they didn't have all the infrastructure there for it yet, so we didn't like really have a PX besides Gatorade.
And tabs. Was that the fucking energy drink you guys were always like chugging? Yeah, was it Tabs? It was like
No. What were they? Thinking of Rippets.
Rippets, yeah.
I think the kids younger than us got something called Cobras after that, but I've never had one. Okay,
I was never in the sandbox. I had Rippets once. They were okay.
I mean, you can still get them at the dollar store, except for they used to come in these like little cute cans that were like short stubbed like chode cans, and like you can only get the fucking double Magnum ones.
Now,
yeah,
that's funny. I was during that time period of my life, like Lance Corporal career, I think I was a rock star guy.
Yeah,
and now I think those taste like smashed up Smarties. Like I just think they're a lot.
I never got into them. Like I can still drink fucking Red Bulls and Amp. That's about it.
Amp is actually really good. And
I mean, it's Mountain Dew.
And in my memory, that was definitely the first energy drink I ever tried, and it was because it was in a black can that had the Mountain Dew label really small on the can. It was like Amp by Mountain Dew, like kind of really small. And I'm like, well, okay then. And that was like the first time I ever tried that had like, taurine in it, and it tasted like piss. It was awful. I was like, what the fuck is this? It was completely unnatural. Let's have another sip. And then by the end of the can, you're used to it, and you're like, I'm suddenly really into this weird thing. But like, I like spit out my first sip of energy drink. Like, what the fuck? All right, let's try that again. and then like, I don't know if it came out before Red Bull. Probably not.
No, because I think Red Bull is like 97 or something. Like it's Red Bull's pretty new.
To like really catch on, yeah. But like
then again, fucking energy drinks in general are pretty fucking new.
And And they only had the tiny little cans when they came out too. Like the only amped cans were the skinny little like.
Dude. Then like you roll around to like 2010 and Monster's got like the big fucking can that's
the
like
big rig.
Gallon. It's like this is ammunition for Doom Guy.
They gave it a can that has a resealable cap because they understood that like, okay, we can only get away with this if we say on the can that this is not one serving.
But this is also the canister that Doom Guy puts into the BFG to like shoot cyber demons.
Yeah, I heard in the Dark Ages game you're gonna have a gun that shoots monster big rigs. Yeah, it's gonna be great. You do have a gun that grinds up skulls and shoots bits of skull at demons, and I got pretty hard when I saw that. Honestly, I got
no. I love this. I saw this thing. And for those of you not here up on it, there's a new Doom game coming out, and it looks like it's taking place in the Middle Ages. But I saw one where it compared the new Doom franchise to the Evil Dead, where it was like the underrated original, the good one, the one that happened before the Crusades.
I'm badass, and you're good Ash. I'm badass, and you're goody two-shoes.
Dude, I don't know about you, man, but I remember fucking watching that movie at like midnight at a friend's house and being like, dude, we're so cool. We're staying up at midnight watching this movie. We're chock full of Code Red Mountain Dew. We've been playing Halo and Dead or Alive beach volleyball. And then we're going to end the night by watching The Evil Dead. We're so cool.
The game was so hot. It was not necessarily sexy.
Yeah.
I remember the Game Informer magazine that had that on the cover, and it had like one of the chicks from Dead or Alive, like 3, like that, but now like beach volleyball, like her in a bikini, and I'm like, oh, I feel things. I feel unfamiliar feelings. Holy shit, video games are getting raunchy. You look back at the graphics of that game now, and you're like, yeah, I used to jerk off the polygons.
Yeah, fucking anything, man. Like, well, I mean, fucking like Lara Croft didn't help.
I was gonna say Lara Croft's triangles were so sexy.
Dude, one of my I've been loving this. There's this discourse about this right now because there's a new Tomb Raider game coming out, and like the Lara Croft model is just about flat chested, and everyone's like blaming fucking like the woke left for it. And they're like, the goddamn liberals ruined Lara Croft, and the fucking replies to it is just like pictures of triangles. And then it's either a wall or what the fuck are you talking about? And it's like, dude, if you didn't wall to this, you don't belong in this conversation, man.
Yeah.
I don't care what your politics are. We want the big triangle movies.
Yeah, I can't remember what we were talking about before that. Oh yeah, book 3. Yeah.
Oh yeah, book 3. Yeah, we should talk about. Yeah. So I read the Odyssey.
How many times did I say? While recording lines, or in my like I think like probably in a dozen of my outtakes, just like, hey, yeah, I read the Odyssey. Like many occasions in that book. If anybody hasn't read the Odyssey and they're reading this book, like, well, they have now.
Yeah. Well, I mean, this book also like or the intent for this book changed a lot of things in the earlier two, because fucking when I read the first two, like you and I were both on the fucking Bonham Richard. God bless her fucking soul. May she rest in peace.
Rest in peace, Bonham Richard.
But and you can contest this that in the first draft, fucking Penelope's name was Gina.
All right.
Because it was a big Bon Jovi joke, because fucking Hank Thomas and Tommy and Gina, they're living on a prayer. That was that. And then once they started like writing the second one, I'm like, okay, well, the second one's gonna be the Iliad. Well, then what's going to happen after the Iliad? Well, the Odyssey has to happen after the Iliad, which means he has to go home to. Why would he go home to? Penelope's a name people still use, and they won't be like, "Oh, wow, I wonder why he named her that."
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, starting the third book made you go back and change a lot about the second two. Then again, you workshopped the second two for a long time, and the third one was probably the first out of the first few that you just wrote and stopped going back and doing total overhauls, because you did a complete rewrite of the first book.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, the version of the book you wrote on Ship was already a rewrite, because you had started it a couple of years prior, and then you started writing it again while like going over notes with me and talking through a bunch of story stuff with me.
Yeah.
And then you started on the second book as soon as you finished the first. And then months later, not even months later, it's a while later, you went back and did a total rewrite of the first book.
I think it was in 29 Palms when I did that. So like it had to be the rest of that deployment, then fucking going to fucking Quantico, and then fucking waiting there for 6 or 8 months to fucking PCS to fucking back to the West Coast.
Yeah, for those of you who aren't aware, like there was the original version started in like 2012 maybe. He wrote the first book,
and that one was just skeleton-y. Like there wasn't.
Yeah.
Like, I don't even think Doc was in that fucking first draft. Like not drafts, but like headcanon notes.
Right. It would have been like early 2015 that you like wrote the first book.
Yeah.
And I mean you were like every time you and I weren't having a conversation or smoking a cigarette or watching like
also important for this conversation, I was doing PSYOP at the time. And we were on shift. And you don't do PSYOP on shift. There's nothing to do. Like everyone else in the team was like working in the LFOC, doing other fucking S3 shit. So like my routine was wake up, go to the gym, go eat breakfast, get a Red Bull, smoke a cigarette, write, go stand in line for chow for a couple hours, write, go stand in line for chow for a couple hours, watch a movie with him, and then jerk off my rack, and then rinse and repeat.
Yeah, I was either going to the field or working in the mess deck. Either way, very nocturnal. And pretty much the only non-work socialization I got in the day was like when I got off work at like 7 a.m. and I'd come up the trip and be like, hey, I need to stay up long enough to see the sun.
Yeah, which that's a fucking important thing.
Yeah, because I went a week or so without seeing the sun, and it really started like getting under my skin. I'm like, man, I really got to hand it to people who work on submarines.
Yeah.
Because I was like just working all night and then going straight to bed. And I'm like, you got to keep me awake long enough to see the sun. Because I'd get off like mess duty, which is a long fucking shift. Because I worked lunch, dinner, and then the midnight meal, whatever they called it, the fourth meal, Taco Bell. I can't remember what it was.
Mid-rats.
Yeah. But then you're up all night, like hauling garbage, like cleaning, just doing a bunch of other shit. And at 7 a.m. they let you off, and if I went straight to bed, I never saw the sun. So Trip would keep me up watching TV shows, movies, doing book talk, and then I'd go outside for a sunrise cigarette, and then go to bed and wake up at 6 p.m., 7 p.m., something like that. But yeah, you wrote the first 2 books like in a fucking frenzy on ship.
Because I had nothing the fuck else to do.
And like within the next year, you did a total overhaul of the first book where you cut out a whole bunch of subplots that involved Justin Bieber and
Lana Del Rey and fucking a lot of other shit.
A lot of stuff that really had no place in the book. You ended up starting the book like chapter and a half later than you had the first time too.
Also, Robert Branch says shit sounds similar to my recent deployment to Kenya. I'm sorry about that, Bob.
Sorry.
Yeah. Yeah, no, but like fucking originally, like it started off with like Hank and Doc banging fat chicks, like, and then going to like hang out with their stripper
and then immediately meeting their girlfriends, and it was just like, it's these guys aren't going to be the most like upstanding moral citizens in the world, but should we introduce the main characters as Tucker Max? Like,
yeah,
that book already exists.
Yeah, I mean, not to say that the first one didn't fucking stray too far from that. Like while that story is humorous and brutal in its own right, I do think I don't want to say it's less serious than the next 2, but I think the next 2 are a bit more dramatic and less comedic.
Yeah, they got their moments.
Yeah,
I mean the third one's very dramatic, I think.
Yeah.
Fuck man, we got like cultist cannibals and like some pretty unhinged shit happens in the third book. Like there's not a lot of uplifting in the third book.
No, it's just a beat down the whole time. It's like, it's like the Odyssey, so he's gonna have a happy ending with his wife. Wrong.
Yeah. That's where you're wrong. See.
No, what happens after that? I guess you have to read the next one.
My whole point of that was like, you did a whole bunch of changes to the first 2 while you were writing the third one, because the third one gave you a whole bunch of ideas of how to solidify characters, and you hadn't done the final publication of book 1 yet. For those of you who aren't aware, there are 2 published versions of book 1, though one of them is no longer available.
Yeah.
So you had to be there. That book is an inside job. I don't know, but the third one, like you wrote in one go. It was like you're finally getting into the flow of things. Yeah. Your Zen state, and I think the third book's pretty dark.
Yeah, like it's very fucking not Return of the Jedi, fucking Empire Strikes Back. It's like, no, we're just gonna bitch slap everybody, and then stay tuned.
And now for something completely different.
Yeah.
I feel so. We're allowed to give spoilers for the third book, right? Because you just
third one's up.
Right, third one's up for grabs. All right, yeah. How about that ending?
Yeah.
How about
dude, I fucking loved
Travis's fucking assassin voice acting.
That was great, but
yeah,
and he fucking knocked it out of the park. I think I'm talking to him Friday, but I also fucking I loved goddamn Steve Augustin's crazy old guy voice.
Yeah. Steve's awesome.
Yeah.
Oh man, I think there was so much fun voice acting in that book. It's weird. When did we finish recording that? Like
February.
Cool.
Yeah,
like a really long time ago.
It was a really long time ago.
Yeah. We got a couple more comments from Robert. Pagan sex at the beginning.
Yeah, the end is supposed to floor your ass. That's what it's there for, man. Shit. Like, why would you read? Why would you read the fourth one if Hank and Penelope just like,
yeah, and they lived happily ever after.
Wrong.
For about 15 minutes.
I gotta make this fucking series 12 books long, motherfucker.
Robert, have you read on?
Robert gave me some of his voice for book 4.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I don't remember who he played off the top of my head because there's 100 fucking voice actors or characters in that. But
so you've read on, all right?
Yeah,
or at least for one book. Yeah, we're not saying who I'm voicing in book 4, Robert. That's not a thing yet.
Not a thing yet. No spoilers.
No.
Dorchester, that's who he fucking played.
Dorchester.
There's a couple other people he played too. Yeah, no, dude, George. Fuck. Okay, we're not going into the fourth book. We're not going into the fourth book. But
no.
He's there. Yeah, no, but going back to the third. We're staying on top of the third one and other random bullshit. Nothing after the fucking
random bullshit. Books 1 through 3 on the table.
Yes. No, dude, I fucking loved goddamn Diane fucking Spencer's Aya, the old Scottish lady voice. Like that fucking kicked ass.
It was amazing. Yeah.
Like
my heart was warmer when I listened to those lines.
Yeah.
I felt like I was being looked after. Like,
No, it's funny because she sent me like just like a regular fucking person voice for it, like a regular Scottish person voice for it, and then like she went and did her Penelope and Samantha's, and then she's like, I want to do the Aya again. You don't have to use this, but this is what I want to do with the character, and it's like, oh god, yeah. I'm just gonna put that in there.
Yeah, she's a talent.
Yeah,
for certain. Her voice acting blows me away.
Yeah.
Even her bloopers sound professional. I don't know how to explain that, but like, you know, the way people react to making a mistake sounds like when I hear like gag reels for like movies and cartoons and stuff. I'm just like, oh, you just have a professional voice and presence.
Yeah, no, she's good. Fucking and no spoilers, but like I'm excited for what she's doing in the next book. Same thing with fucking Hollis. She's coming back next. What is it? She played a couple of rando voices in book 3. She played the Victorville woman and the witch, but she also played Satin and Gunny Chansworth, and she's got some fucking great shit coming up in the next one too.
I don't know how many times I'm gonna say no spoilers, but like
Hollis
has an outtake in the fourth book. I don't think I've laughed harder at anything I've heard in the gag reels than one of Hollis's outtakes. It made my fucking life. It was so funny. I probably listened to it with you like 5 times in a row, and then I'm like, I have to leave this alone or it's gonna lose its funny. And then thinking about it continues to make me burst out laughing.
Yeah, no, but on that though, fucking again, we're not talking about anything that happens in the fourth book, but
we're gonna get you excited for it.
Yeah, no, but me and Chuck listened to it before I put it on Patreon. Get a second set of ears on it, and fucking yeah, no, the fourth one is the best one so far. Fucking at least quality wise, fucking speaking, like it's tighter together. Fucking the voice acting in it is fucking, I don't want to say better, but better. And a lot of that's not that it was bad beforehand, but it was like I didn't know what the fuck I was doing, so I didn't know what to tell other people to correct to make themselves sound better. Because this is all fucking really fucking good amateur hour what we're doing. Like like in any other circumstance, this is $1 million project that we are doing on a $0 fucking budget.
Shoestring,
like, yeah, like shoestring at fucking best. But yeah, no, we started to figure out like, hey, we need to do XYZ when we're in the fucking programs. When we're having people send in voices, we need to tell them to do this, which we didn't know that this was the thing to fucking tell them. It was just kind of like, I don't know, talking to a fucking microphone, dude, shoot it over.
I think it was before. I think it was while we were throwing lines together for book 3 that one of us had the idea to tell everyone who wants to be involved, you're in. You have to buy this $40 microphone and put it in a shoebox that has foam in it.
Yeah.
That's anybody who wants to record, you're in, but that's the minimum setup requirement. Like $40 shoebox foam. Like,
yeah, dude, and like that does
night and day difference.
It does wonders.
It's been so helpful.
Yeah, and the thing is, it's not like anybody's like fucking doing a bad job or anything, but it's like fucking nobody knows better, because we don't fucking know better. But we're starting to know better, and things are going to get better, which is fucking it's fucking cool. There's a lot of good things coming up next.
Yeah, I'm excited. Yeah, into the third book. Really heavy hitting, excellent cliffhanger. I'm trying to think of other favorite scenes from the third book. I got to reprise my role of Frince in the third book. Yeah,
finally got a good death fucking gargle.
Yeah. Fucking. Oh, we're cool, right?
Yeah, no, and like that was one of my
fuck off forever. You'll never see me again.
Yeah, no, I really I enjoyed fucking coming up with that scene too, because like you could do the thing where it's like, all right, cool, I'm gonna rip off fucking the Odyssey for this. Like, okay, well, how are you gonna have a dude in, I don't know, canonically probably 2023 or 4, because the Russians invaded East Europe in 2021. In a book I wrote in 2014. Why would he have a bow? Is this a compound bow thing? Well, does Hank know what a fucking does Hank do bow hunting? And if he doesn't, why the fuck does he compound know what a fuck? How hard would it be to put together a fucking compound bow? Wait a minute. Okay, hold on. What about a rifle? Like, you can put together a rifle, and if you don't know how to put together a rifle and you just get rifle parts, you can't put together a rifle unless you know how it fucking goes together.
Yeah, I mean, I gotta admit, like, if it weren't for the Marine Corps, like, teaching us to, like, strip down the bolt housing group and all that shit and put it back together 1,000 times, like, depending on the rifle, some of those are pretty tough. Like,
yeah,
I love SIGs. They are not the simplest things in the world. The AR platforms are considerably simpler than their pistols, but I had a SIG handgun that said in very big letters in the manual, absolutely do not take this piece apart in this order, or you will break your gun and have to send it to us to have an armor like fix it for you. It's just like, hey, you can push it up. I remember the first time I took apart in 1911, nobody told me to keep track of that spring, and I ended up shooting it across the room. I was like, oh fuck. And he's like, if you don't know what you're doing, ask. And I'm like, you just handed me a weapon I've never disassembled and told me to figure it out. Like, yeah. He's like, oh yeah, I guess it is on me, isn't it? And I'm like, yeah, no, I'm sorry, I'll go find it.
Yeah, no, but I thought that was a fucking fun, like,
I think that's pretty realistic that all these, aliens who didn't even grow up around human projectile weapons and had no interest in learning them would struggle to assemble. What was it? Was it an M16?
It was an M14.
As an M14, yeah, I think they'd struggle with that. Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, that and then like it was fun to like put those pieces in, like A, that, and then B, the whole fucking Trojan horse thing. Which, by the way, that's not fucking in the Iliad. Either is Achilles dying, but it's like, all right, sweet. So, how do we get them inside of fucking Ilium, Troy, or fucking whatever? Well, we just name the Russian mechs after chess pieces, and in chess, there's a knight, which is kind of like a horse. We stick him in the horse.
I mean, yeah, kind of like John has left a comment about how Odysseus was clever. He comes up, he's an idea guy. Knowing the technique, I used to teach archery to kids, and they could string the bow. They just have to know how. Familiarity is half the battle. Knowing is half the battle.
Yeah. And Hank's a crafty little fuck when he needs to be, but he's also a fucking idiot a lot of the times too, because he's still a dumbass fucking Marine. I think it's funny. I've gotten some kickback in the novels because people read the first chapter, like, oh man, these guys are fucking idiots. Why am I reading this? It's like, there's this thing called character development. If we start them off smart,
they have to have room to grow.
They have to start as dummies. That's why they're talking about fucking eating burritos and pulling fucking anal beads out of butts like lawnmowers.
Lawnmowers, yeah. We have to take somebody who starts out as a little weed and then sprinkle 12 books of Miracle-Gro on them and see what they turn into. Yeah.
And then as soon as he starts to get his shit together, let's go ahead and bitch slap the fuck out of him.
Yank the carpet out.
Yeah.
And let's drop an atomic bomb, literally and metaphorically, on your life.
Yeah. I hope you didn't like fucking Jenny or Tom, which I liked Jenny and Tom. I really enjoyed both those characters. They weren't big characters. They were side characters at best. They weren't background characters, but
they were good.
Yeah. I enjoyed them.
I really enjoyed listening to I'm sorry, what's Tom's voice actor's name?
Ryan Day.
Right, yeah, I really enjoyed listening to his delivery on Tom Lines. His delivery is such a contrast to Hank and Doc, the way that they're just very indecorous, harshly spoken, constantly just giving off, and he's got this very sophisticated delivery. Keeping his chickens.
Chickens and pigs, yes.
Mm-hmm.
Which I don't think we could do that if we were imitating fucking British accents. We could imitate the accent, but
I couldn't imitate his delivery though.
I guess the elegance factor of it. But on the other side of that,
I guess I could imitate it, but
it would take a long time.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. No, but on the other side though, I would never cast him to be someone who's going to be in a fist fight.
Yeah. We've all heard my rendition of a British accent as Frince.
Yeah.
But I wasn't actually trying to be authentic. I was trying to be annoying.
Yeah. Well, I mean, also Frince wasn't English. He's a fucking. Actually, none of these characters are fucking.
No, they're not English.
They're fucking aliens.
Yeah.
Fucking aliens.
Aliens, dude. Yeah, no, I wasn't trying to be authentic. I was trying to be annoying, and I've got some British friends who listen to my Frince delivery, and they're just like, "Oh God, you sound wretched." I'm like, "Yeah, I know." Yeah. I wanted it to sound grating. I wanted you to hate every line I said. I wanted you to hate me more every time I spoke.
Yeah. Robert Bernstein. I mean, Hank and Doc get bitch slapped plenty, and they do. But I also, I don't abuse it with them. I don't think. There's other stories where, oh, hey, this weird thing happens. These people recover quick. Let's fucking shoot them in the face every chapter. Wolverine. I don't think
you succeeded in making Frince annoying, Chuck. Yeah, thank you.
Also, John, the Odyssey ends with Odysseus placing his oar in the woods so they won't be troubled by the sea, and his journey ends. Of course, you couldn't let Hank do that, but did you consider having him do that? I considered this is not something that happens in the story at all.
I thought the Odyssey ended with Odysseus telling his wife that he had to put an oar across his back and walk inland until nobody.
Yeah, until no one recognizes it. Yeah. That's what he's saying. But you can only put so much in a comment.
Oh, fair enough. I haven't read it in a while.
But I considered them catching a ride off the planet because the planet was screwed, and then going to Mars, and then Hank becoming a Gundam pilot.
They're going to Guam.
And while they're fighting the fucking aliens on Mars, the different aliens that show up, which I was just gonna do Robotech, and I didn't. That's not what happened. But I did consider. I did consider that. I never considered the oar thing. I don't know. I had a basic outline.
He gives it a kiss and puts it in the closet and locks it away, and then he and Penelope have a homestead life.
Yeah, no. And before I like started seriously writing, I was talking to Chuck on the smoke deck in fucking Okinawa, and I was like, "Hey, I'm gonna write this story, and this is what it's gonna be: Marines in Iraq, and they get stuck in it, so we'll have to Zelda it, and then aliens show up, and then with the alien technology, fucking the Iliad happens. Except for the Iliad is also Gundam and Robotech, and then the Odyssey happens, and then after that, like, I'm not going into spoilers, but like Chuck can tell you about how much I had planned, where it was like not a lot. It was like, all right, man, I got about a sentence per book after this until the end. The last one I got like 2 sentences.
You did have like a sentence per book for 12 books though. Like you had the very bare bones HTML structure of where this is going to be going. Like you were telling me for years what book 12 was going to be about, and then you finally got to start writing it, and you were just so fucking stoked. And you're like, this is so fun. I've earned this. This is just a fun book.
Oh, yeah.
It's cool.
Yeah. Also, I'm like, no spoilers, anybody, but if you have read the whole series, books 1 through 11 are the plot, and book 12 is like my congratulatory lap.
Here's celebration.
Here's a fucking cake. Here's a fucking cake. Eat it and be happy.
I've earned this. I've earned having a book that's just a fucking blast to write, and I can do whatever I want. Yeah, no, it's great.
I can definitely see Hank becoming a Roy Fokker-ish character from Robotech. So one of the earlier fucking thoughts was like in my head, because like before you start writing, like you're just like paying more attention to your daydreams. And one of them was in my head that I thought about for fucking years. And this never ended up being anywhere even fucking referenced in the fucking series. There was a scene in Robotech where fucking Rick Hunter, and also I am saying Robotech, not Macross, because I haven't watched Macross. I've only watched Robotech, which we can go into that in a minute. They're almost the same show, but Macross got Power Rangered into Robotech.
Yeah, you were just telling me about that the other night. Yeah.
I mean, not quite that drastic, but
not trivia I knew though. Yeah.
Yeah. But anyway, fucking Rick Hunter, who's like the main character, he's in his fucking Valkyrie, their mech, and he gets stuck in an enemy ship, but it's like inside like almost like the bilge, but he's in there with like the rock star fucking pop singer fucking chick, and then he's like trying to rescue her, but they get stuck and can't fucking leave. But the enemy doesn't know they're there either, so they're kind of like doing sear. But also, since the bad guys are like 50 feet tall, which is why they need mechs in the first place to, fist fight the fucking bad guys. They're kind of like evading, like a mouse would evade a human in a fucking house. And in my head, I had a scene very similar to that, except for it was the soundtrack to fucking Top Gun instead. And then that just never made it into series somehow.
Which one of 3 songs was it from Top Gun?
Mighty Wings, the best song from Top
Gun. Which one of 3 songs played on repeat was it from Top Gun?
Mighty Wings, the good
I'm being a little dramatic, but I really think like Top Gun 1 had like 3 songs. Like there might have been more, but like it really feels like Mighty Wings, Danger Zone, and Take My Breath Away. Like
what bothers me about the Top Gun soundtrack though is Top Gun the movie also had a really good score, which is like just the random background music, and you can't get that anywhere. Like you have to get like the actual fucking song. It's like, no, I want the in the background. Like where's that?
Right. I mean, that movie was all about recycling assets. During the dogfight with the MiGs at the end of it, they literally used the same like MiG footage doing a loop dodge, like very close together. It's like that maneuver is still very fresh in your mind, and then they show it to you again. I'm just like, oh, it would have been better to not have another shot.
Well, the other thing that like people don't fucking think about Top Gun is just like a high school football movie, except for instead of the other football team, it's not the Russians.
Yeah, were they ambiguous about who the enemy was in that movie?
Yeah, it's only the enemy.
It was just MiGs, the enemy, and they flew MiGs. Like, okay. That's fun.
Yeah, I forgot Lead Beyond when they are in the bar is also a banger. Fucking, I love that song Lead Beyond. Like,
yeah.
I fucking like that. Fucking like I put that in the same fucking vein as Party in the USA. And if you get a problem with that, you get a problem with America. And Hulk Hogan has something to say to you. Okay,
take me to bed or lose me forever.
like it's up there with Starship Troopers. And like, okay, out of context, this is all extremely cringe, but you throw it together, and this is fucking awesome.
Do you think we'd get more people watching this stream concurrently if I made it really controversial by saying that I wasn't actually a fan of Top Gun?
I know that you hate Top Gun.
I usually keep that to myself, not because I mind like pissing people off in particular, like but I don't want to make the whole conversation for the next 45 minutes about why I thought Top Gun was kind of a mediocre experience. It really boils down to I didn't see it as a kid. I saw it in my early 20s, and it was under coercion by a superior.
After you'd already met a couple naval pilots, you're like, nah, these guys are all douchebags in real life. Like, what the fuck is this? Although, when you think about it, that's how fucking pilots actually see themselves. So, I mean,
movie seems like it was written by them, actually.
I mean, it's kind of like fucking if you look at Heartbreak Ridge and you're like, all right, I want a Lance Corporal to write this movie, and then like, okay, the insert character is Stitch Jones because Stitch Jones, the Ayatollah of rock and roll, the Duke of Cool, like, of course he'd be the coolest guy, and yes, he'd be the main character. Listen, fucking, I love Clint Eastwood. He was the asshole fucking staff NCO there. Fucking Stitch Jones was the main character of that movie.
Right. Robert says, I'm not pissed, but you're probably the first person I met who wasn't a fan. Yeah, I don't know a lot of people who share that opinion. It's definitely one of those unpopular takes. I was in my early 20s. I had been on a night school for my signals intelligence job for a while. We were in a skiff, and there was this Air Force staff sergeant who was one of my instructors, and it was his favorite movie, bar none.
That's something else I don't get. The Air Force, every airman I've ever met fucking loves that movie. And it's like, dude, this movie is...
You joined the wrong branch!
This movie is also proof that we don't need an Air Force. This movie is how cool it is when the Navy flies planes.
Yeah. Yeah. No, it was his favorite movie ever. And we got done taking a test, and we were pretty much done with the course. And it was like 1 a.m. or midnight, and we typically didn't get done until about 2 a.m. And instead of letting us go early, he made us fucking watch Top Gun. I was furious. He's like, all right, guys, we finished up early. I want to give you guys a treat. And he brings out a popcorn machine and then puts in Top Gun. And I'm just like, I was inconsolably grumpy about it. I was just like, I'd really rather just it's Friday, it's midnight. My buddies are all out of the smoke pit back at the barracks. Let me go play volleyball instead of watching these guys be oddly erotic about volleyball.
although there are some solid fucking Top Gun references in the books, especially in the first one where fucking Hank's on barracks duty and Doc's drunk and he builds a fucking Model F-14 and Hank glues it to the ground or glues it to the secretary, so when Doc grabs it, it fucking breaks and blows up all over the place, and Hank calls him Maverick for a bit.
Sorry, I'm reading the comments.
Oh yeah, what did John say? The final count. Did you ever see the final countdown?
I don't remember that.
Okay, so I think it's the Nimitz, the aircraft carrier. They get stuck in a hurricane. It's been a long time since I've seen this, so I'm gonna fuck it up. But they get stuck in a hurricane, and then they come out of the hurricane, and it's like December 5th, 1941, and they're right outside of Pearl Harbor, and they're like, "Oh my God, no! What do we do? Do we stop the entire Japanese fleet with our fucking aircraft carrier from 1980? Dude, we get F-14 Tomcats. Fucking bring a goddamn zero up here. We'll blow that shit out of the goddamn water."
So it's like a fucking fantasy time travel movie?
Yeah.
That's awesome. Fuck, I want to watch that. Dude, that sounds that sounds sick. Oh man. Then the Army only had Firebirds, the Navy kind of beat the shit out of us in the cool aviation movie. I don't think it's any surprise to anyone that I did not watch Top Gun 2. And when after the things I said about Top Gun, but now that I've heard that it's essentially just Star Wars, I'm like, Star Wars did that.
Yeah,
that's a Star Wars movie.
Also, he didn't really get Top Gun until this is John. Until he saw it in theaters back in 2019. Theater surround sound, dude. Theater surround sound will do shit for.
It does make all the difference.
It does a lot of stuff.
I'm also admitting that my beef with Top Gun was extremely situational and personal. If I had gone to see it in theaters on my own accord of my own volition, I think I probably would enjoy it a lot more. But I was being held hostage by an Air Force staff sergeant at midnight on a Friday, and he was making me watch it instead of letting me go drink.
Well, I was gonna say though that good filmmaking is 70% sound design.
It's Steinberg machine.
If you want a good movie, you need to be able to close your eyes and get most of it, which is good sound design. So, like, if you have a good sound system to go with that, that improves the movie by a letter grade.
Yeah, bad sound design destroys a movie watching experience for me. To the extent that I like go to some friends' houses and I'm just like, I can't enjoy watching movies here because you just have like a TV with a busted speaker and it's just like, no.
It's just nasty.
Yeah. Most of my friends with the projector get it wrong. Like, wow, the projector, this is great. Where's the surround sound?
Yeah.
Where's the sound coming from? Oh, this Bluetooth speaker I set on my desk. No.
Dude, fucking, we used to when we were in Afghan, we would get these little Bluetooth speakers, like the ones that kind of look like a hockey puck. And this is like 2008, right? So, or like the little fucking like sound bar thing that was this big, and we just like plugged that in and used that while we were driving around because Humvees don't have fucking radios or speakers or anything.
I just want to say for the record that I made the joke. I wonder if we'd have more concurrent watchers if I said I didn't like Top Gun, and we went from 2 to 7. So. Okay. The magic worked. Like, whenever I say something controversial about not liking Top Gun, more people would start watching. Dude.
Oh man, no one's watching this. Save me, God. Save me, Jesus. Save me, Tom Cruise. Save me, Tom Cruise. Use your witchcraft on me.
I'm sure I could come around to Top Gun. I was coerced to watch it.
What do you mean keep the controversy going, Robert? What else are we going to be controversial about? And yet, in history, Daddy, why do you low key love Top Gun? I high key love Top Gun, man.
I don't think
when I was a kid, I'd watch it on TV and I'd get a chair and like kind of sit under it backwards so the back was up here. I'd pretend like the seat was like the firewall on a jet. Do jets have firewalls? They have to have something like that, right? You know what I'm talking about. As someone who studied film and has made them, you can have shit actors, special effects, but if you have shit sound, shit music, and shit writing, you're done. Yeah.
Also, we know that good actors cannot sell a movie. Like, good actors cannot make a good movie. Like, that doesn't make the movie good. It's not. No,
actors are meat puppets.
Yeah, like we need them. I love them. I low-key wish we had like new faces for every movie. There's plenty of talent out there. I kind of hate the cult of personality that surrounds,
Well, the other thing with that though is like fucking that's kind of gone now. Like, just with the way fucking studios are fucking, I don't want to say recycling fucking bottom of the tier fucking talent, but like we don't have like action stars anymore. We don't have like big romance people anymore. Like we don't have a new Meryl Streep. We don't have a new fucking Van Damme or a new Schwarzenegger. Like they were the fucking end of it. Like
we do. I just aren't watching the movies. Like.
Okay, well, I mean, you have to like point one out. You have to point one out.
How many times have you gone to the movie theater this year and seen a new film?
None. But
that's my point.
Netflix is my bitch.
Hollywood.
Oh, Pedro Pascal. Okay, fine. Sorry. Fine.
That's the problem. Like, this is a double-edged sword. I want them to do new talent for all these movies, but I, just as much as the next guy, fucking love seeing somebody I loved in another movie. Like, I love it, but also like, goddamn, like it gets to the point where we actually have to treat these people like the royalty they become because they're in enough movies and enough people love them and they can never have a normal life. And we all have to move them into the fake world that is like, Beverly Hills so that they can have gated communities and be around their own and be safe from like rabid, dangerous fans. Like, it's like, no, if we had different faces every time, it wouldn't matter. You'd see somebody and be like, oh, I recognize you from that one awesome movie you were in. You could keep cycling talent. But then again, I'm sure that would be horrifying for like casting directors and things like that when you run into the problem where, man, what was his name? He was in the Han Solo movie. I guess.
Oh, yeah, I saw that once. That was the only Star Wars movie that came out during my lifetime that I didn't see in the theater. And I saw it later. I was like, yeah, okay, I made the right decision.
Yeah, you didn't miss it out. You couldn't see anything in the movie. It was too dark. I think the sound design was shockingly bad for a Star Wars movie. And I guess they had a really hard time working with the actor. I guess he was having a hard time with delivery and acting. They could put him in an acting class. But yeah. I mean, it sucks. Like, because, what a role to have. And then, like, really struggle with. Feel bad for the guy. Yeah. Next time I saw him was in Oppenheimer.
Yeah, I'm sorry. John was saying Top Gun Final Countdown made my brother love the F-14. He had noticed a detail on the TG in Top Gun 2 when they tried to eject, the arming pin wasn't set, which is visible, so it makes sense. But also, everyone's talking about how the best Navy movie is actually Down Periscope, and I feverishly disagree with that. It's obviously Hot Shots. As to where the best Army movie is Shots Part 2. I mean, sure, Down Periscope is an honorable mention, but you know,
Zendaya or Elizabeth Olsen got me bad. Yeah.
Also, dumb. Fucking. We are in heavy spoiler territory for the book 3 because this episode is the last chapter of book 3. So you know, if you don't want spoilers, might not want to hang out. Or come back. Go listen to it and come back. We'll be here.
Go listen to it and come back. It's not that long. Yeah.
We'll be here in 20 minutes.
Listen to it on 1.25 or 1.5. Like, you know, just go jump the time down.
Which is weird. I didn't know you could do that on YouTube till like
you can. Yeah.
Not too terribly long ago.
Yeah. It's neat.
Yeah. Best Army movie is MASH. You know. I'll tell you what's not a good Army movie. I watched Platoon for the first time in 20 years. That sucked.
I was asking you when we were having our like favorite military movie list build, which I don't know, maybe I should read that list and see
oh yeah. Well, before we do that, but yeah, no, like Platoon, like the only thing good about Platoon is fucking Barnes. Like that's it. The rest of the movie is fucking like, yeah, okay, maybe you guys deserve to get shot.
I was like, I don't remember. Does Platoon hold up? And you're like, I just checked. It doesn't hold up. I'm
it does not hold up.
It was not good. It did not work.
It did not work. And Chuck's going to pull it up here in a minute, but what was it? History Daddy, Fury, 1917, Dunkirk, favorite Army movies. Obviously, Dark Crystal is the best film of all time.
Dark Crystal is the best Army movie of all time.
You know what, History Daddy? You know what you could do? You could just read the Wikipedia page for a Serbian film and get back to me. No, but we stayed up one night. We're like, hey, what are the best war movies? Like actual war movies.
We came up with like a long list of criteria for.
So like it had to be like a real war. It couldn't be like Lord of the Rings or Star Wars.
Yeah, and we wanted it to be in terms of like production value and drama and it making like it not like, you know, just being one of those like over glorification like films where like, you know, just, you know, soldiers are cool, like that kind of thing. Like, hey, look how cool guys with guns are. We wanted it to be like gritty. So we came up with a list of like what we thought were the hardest hitting kind of gritty, like dramatic, like war movies.
Yeah. And before you get into that, Hamburger Hill was good, but it's still meh. No, Hamburger Hill was a really good movie, but yeah, no, it is still just kind of meh. Major Payne was a middle school movie. It was a boarding school movie. I love that movie to death, but yeah, it's not a war movie.
Not a war movie. Yeah. Yeah, specifically a war movie too, not just a military movie.
Not military. Because if it was just a military movie, then I would have argued for Gentleman and an Officer to be on there. But that's not
a few good men. Like
military, but not.
You know, Tom Cruise Navy movies, like A Few Good Men, fucks. Like I love that movie. Yeah, despite the fact that. But just like all movies, they have people saluting indoors and not undercover for whatever reason. Like I'm just like, God damn it, read a Customs and Courtesies book for fuck's sake. Yeah. Nobody working on this movie knows anything about Marines. Like,
also History Daddy. On the flip side,
is History Daddy out?
Yeah, he's out.
All right, boys, I gotta go. Congrats on the final chapter. Thank you.
And ladies and gentlemen, that's the guy that played Tom. But anyway, fucking.
I forgot. I forgot your handle was History Daddy.
Yeah,
love you. We were talking about your voice acting earlier and how sophisticated you sound. You were great. I enjoyed talking about Starship Troopers with you.
Yeah, it was a good time.
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
If you go over to History Daddy's channel, fucking us three were talking about is Starship Troopers fascist, and we had a good 3-4 hour conversation about it.
We had a good talk. Yeah, you and I reread the book for the first time in a long time to do that, and that's a really fun book.
It is a really fun book, and if our criteria was different, Starship Troopers the movie would be at the top of the list of best war movies ever made. But
despite the fact that they did not read the book when they made that movie, which is why they ended up making it fascist, because It's kind of assumed the book
was. But they didn't make it fascist, though. They made it like, oh my god, this place is so neat and orderly, and everyone's happy and has money, and no one's starving, and the only people in the military are people who want to fucking be here. No one's here because of like economic factors or like a draft, even though like this species is facing extinction. If this is fascism, what the fuck are we complaining about?
Right.
Yeah, sorry. What was up? Sorry.
We can't boil down a 3-hour conversation into a couple of sound bites. Well, without further ado, this is the 5 movie list we came up with, and I'll do it from 5 to 1. And if you disagree with us, sweet.
What was number 5?
Number 5, we had Saving Private Ryan.
Saving Private Ryan's a good one because you get the beach scene, but it's also not higher than 5, because the rest of the movie is a generic war film.
Yeah, and the end is very good. And the end at the cemetery is very hard hitting, very dramatic, but like it is pretty stereotypically war film, for the most part. Like after that, but the opening scene is iconic.
And it's like what, half hour ish. Like it's a fucking minute.
It goes on, yeah. I mean, Call of Duty 2 for the Xbox 360 basically recreates that scene the way they did it, like beat for beat, like as closely as they could. That's how I felt when I was playing that on the 360 when it came out. And I was convinced that we were as far as we were going to get in like realistic war video games. I was just like, this is it. This is real life. Wow.
Fucking I loved the Modern Warfare and Modern Warfare 2 games, but what is it? I think it was World at War. Half the game you were a Marine in the Pacific, and half the Marine you were a Russian dude fighting the angry Germans. And I love the fuck out of that game because if you like pay attention to it, fucking the Marine you are fighting as in the Pacific Theater is somewhere in 7th Marines, and that game came out right when I came back from Afghanistan with 2.7. And me and my buddy, my roommate at the time, we played a game with that game where it would be like, you know how like if you get shot and you go into like revive mode, somebody can come revive you. So it'd be like if you got shot and someone revived you, then you had to take a shot. And if you died and you had to start over, both you had to take a shot. And we got like 2 or 3 levels into it, and we were playing it on like super fuck you hard. And I got like immediately blackout drunk, and I didn't come to until we're like burning down the Reichstag. And I'm like, oh god, what the fuck happened, man? Oh my god, where's my life? Oh fuck. I also like, because I got back from deployment, I got that in Dead Space, and I fucking hated Dead Space because we're on that post-deployment 96. You know, we have a catwalk barracks, so I have the door open and the window open. It's like noon on a Wednesday. I'm so drunk that I don't realize I can put the controller down, and I am crying, just like, make it stop, man, make it stop. It was a really good game.
Dead Space is one of my favorite games of all time, and the remake of Dead Space that came out in like 2022. 23 early in the year. It was like January of like last year. Fuck, it was good. And they made the game make more sense. They invented another character. They added more dialogue. Like the remake of Dead Space is 1,000% worth it. Like go get that if you liked Dead Space. All right, and to answer Robert's question from earlier, yeah, I loved Roughnecks, the Starship Troopers like animated series on, I think it was on Fox Kids in the mornings. I used to catch it before school. I actually saw that before I saw the movie. That's what introduced me to Starship Troopers. I'm like, what is this? This is awesome. And one of my friends came over to walk to school with me one morning. He's like, oh yeah, the Starship Troopers. It's based on that movie that came out last year. And I'm like, well, I got to see that movie now. And like that was love at first sight. Fucking love that movie. And then many years later, read the book because it was on the Commandant's reading list, and you could like get promotion points for it if you read it and took a test or wrote a book report on it or something. I can't remember, but like
something like that.
I like read that. I'm like, this is fucking dope. I like and reread it just this year to have a conversation with History Daddy and Trip about it. It was good fun.
Yeah, no, I didn't see that, but I did recently find there's a Japanese anime of it from the fucking like late 80s, and it looks very similar to.
Is it Blue Gender?
No. It's called Starship Troopers. It's its
okay. All right. Yeah, I remember Blue Gender having alien insects that looked a whole lot like the arachnids.
They did.
Remember anything about Blue Gender? I don't remember.
No. But the Starship Troopers fucking anime, it looks very similar to Mobile Suit Gundam fucking Starship or Stardust Memory. It came out about the same time. The main one. Character Rico kind of looks like
the good Gundam.
Yeah. Except for they don't call him Rico, they call him Johnny the whole fucking time. And it's like, oh, neat. It's not close, but I mean, it's about as close to the book as the movie was, except for they did it in good faith, and they gave them the fucking mech suits.
Well, I want to watch that now.
Yeah, and it's only like 8 episodes long, so like you could do it in an afternoon.
Well, that's perfect. Yeah,
and it's all on YouTube.
Sounds great.
Yeah, no.
What are we doing here?
We should I don't know. We should leave and watch our
commentating it. Yeah. Fuck you, Gat. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah. Screw you guys. I'm going home.
Dude, no, I still have the book on my fucking desk when we talked about it, but
no, we're down to 2 concurrent watchers. Okay. Apparently, right, me saying while they were all here that I didn't like Top Gun, like made them all leave.
Nothing.
Damn.
all right. So what was number 4 on the list?
Number 4. So number 5 was Saving Private Ryan. Number 4 was Black Hawk Down.
Black Hawk Down was a good movie. I watched it again somewhat recently, except for the entire time I was watching it, it was like, okay, I'm not saying y'all deserve to get shot, but like doing that is how you get shot. Oh, you're only gonna be out for 2 hours, so you don't need night vision, you don't need your full kit. Yeah, okay, so this exact. I looked into this later.
I'm not gonna wear my back sappy plate.
No, I looked up this later. Fucking them fucking up that hard in Mogadishu in real life is the reason that like we have the fucking TTPs we do now.
Oh yeah, I mean,
yeah.
There are 2 movies that I really appreciate for like demonstrating why certain SOPs exist. One of them is sadly, I feel a little weird about the existence of movies like this, but it was Lone Survivor. I feel a little weird that a movie about this event exists and that the guy it's about is actually cameoed in this movie, and it's still not a realistic like representation of what happened. That just makes me feel really bizarre. But what I do appreciate about the movie is that it demonstrates very elegantly like decisions being made higher up that are absolutely going to result in like our guys getting dead. Like and why we don't do things like this. Why comm checks are important. Why having Apache escorts is really important. like just all kinds of decisions. It's like, like this is really important actually. Like, you want dead seals? This is how you get dead seals. Like,
what was the other thing? Like, they couldn't get fucking comm up because there was too much lead in the mountain that was across the fucking.
There was a line where he's using a satellite antenna, and he's like, "Why can't we get communication?" He's like, "Tell it to the mountain. Can't get comm through it." And it's just like, I'm just like,
this goes straight up, like up, not that way to a tower. It goes up, but
what?
All right,
like what? I don't understand.
And again, like we do have the benefit of like commenting on this, 20, 30 years after it happened, going, and listen, dumbass, you're doing this thing as a fucking spec ops dude that like gets basic fucking people killed. However, you did this 10 or 20 years before I even fucking joined. So we were getting trained not to do the dumb shit that you did that got you and your guys killed. So like, thanks for the learning experience.
Yeah, at the expense of all of your friends.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, it's one of those bittersweet things. It's like, I'm glad we learned from mistakes.
Yeah, I'm glad someone figured that out, and I'm better glad that it wasn't me.
It sucks that SOPs have to be made by a lot of people getting killed. Yeah, I'm glad it wasn't me.
Jesus Christ, fucking Mark, yeah, dude,
Mark Luttrell.
That dude's a goddamn man.
Yeah, he's a man. And that was another thing that I felt weird about in the movie. Is like I almost feel like they kind of took away from just what a tough bastard he was, but like the real tough bastard part of that was like after the firefight was over and he was no longer being shot at, he's like riddled with bullets and he had like one good arm and he couldn't stand up and he was just dragging himself for days. And like, that doesn't film well, but like that's so fucking hard.
Well, wasn't that what The Revenant was with Leo
DiCaprio?
Yeah.
So it does make a good movie.
Except for you have to add bear rape to it.
Yeah. God, that scene went hard. That is what a bear mauling looks like. If you happen not to die, like, that movie went hard. But all right, so yeah.
We're back on Black Hawk Down. Anyway, overall, Black Hawk Down's a really good fucking movie. Also, a lot of fucking characters in it. A lot of actors.
All the people in that movie would later on just like be Hollywood superstars, but they were all like little babies, like Tom Hardy and Orlando Bloom, and
Obi-Wan Kenobi and fucking goddamn
Ewan McGregor. Yeah.
God, who played fucking Hector in Troy? Eric Bana.
Eric Bana. Yeah. Oh, Eric Bana is so cool.
Jamie Lannister. Fucking Gordy's gone, man. I'll be outside.
Yeah, everyone in that movie went on to like have so fun like careers. Like Tom Hardy loses his hearing after the first like firefight and is just like screaming death for the rest of the movie, doing buddy rushes like up and down streets. Like, the
fucking bad guy from was it Jeremy Irons? The bad guy from The Patriot. He's the guy that plays the captain. He's fucking in that, and like. Yeah, he's kind of a dick, but like I really enjoy that guy as an actor. Even though I don't know his fucking name.
What a voice that guy has. Was it Jeremy Irons?
I don't think it's Jeremy Irons. He's got a name.
We'll look at it. Black Hawk.
He played Tavington or Charlton in The Patriot. Mel Gibson killed him with an American flag. Jason Isaacs. Thank you, Robert.
Oh, Jason Isaacs also has an amazing voice.
I fucking love that guy. And you know what the thing is like I've never seen him play a good guy. He always plays like the biggest slimy piece of shit, but he's so fucking good at it.
Mm-hmm.
You know? It's like, dude, I know you're acting, but you kind of have to be an asshole in real life, right? Like you were definitely one of the bad guys in Schindler's List. You weren't one of the bad guys in Schindler's List. That was Ray Fiennes, not you. Okay, all right, cool. Well, you should have been. Wait.
Yeah, I saw a couple of really funny outtakes with him in Harry Potter. He accidentally like booped Harry's actor. What's his name again? Wow, Jesus, forgetting Harry Potter's voice actor name. That's really funny.
I don't know. Like
we're remembering too many names right now. But
I'm like 2 years old for Harry Potter. So by the time Harry Potter came out, it's like, dude, man, I've been watching Dragon Ball.
Daniel Radcliffe. Thank you. Thanks, chat. He accidentally like bopped him on the head with his can on his way by. And he was doing his like evil like voice, and then like just like completely breaks character, and like he's just like, oh my god, I'm so sorry. He just sounds like night and day different. I'm just like, yeah, you're so good at doing these voices. Took me a while to realize that he was like one of the evil generals in Avatar: The Last Airbender, because he's so good at just like doing voices and getting into characters. He does a lot of voice acting work.
Also, like while we're on Harry Potter, real quick, not to go too far off of it, Diane, who plays Penelope and Aya and Samantha and a few other characters here and there. Her husband was Ray Fiennes' fucking body double in the Harry Potter movies.
No way.
And I forget which one of her fucking stand-up specials it is, which you can go watch all those on YouTube. They're fucking great, full hour-long specials. She's on tour right now, recording her 9th or 10th, but I forget which one it is, but she's got a whole bit about fucking Voldemort.
The nose job that wasn't.
Wait, so does that mean like Hank and Voldemort are Eskimo brothers?
Strange thought.
Oh no.
gotta get those thoughts out there. All right. Number 5 was Saving Private Ryan. Number 4 was Black Hawk Down. Number 3, Full Metal Jacket.
Full Metal Jacket's good.
Which, unlike Saving Private Ryan, I think that movie really grows into itself after the iconic boot camp.
The Vietnam part's really good about it. And what helps that is while Stanley Kubrick fucking never stepped foot outside of fucking England, the two books that was based off of, one of them is called Dispatches, the other one is called Short Timers. And people say it's only Short Timers, but more of the stories actually come from Dispatches. But both of those were written by guys that were in Vietnam. Short Timers is written by a fucking public affairs Marine. And Dispatches is, if I remember right, the guy wasn't in the military. He was just a correspondent, but like he was one of those, hey, I needed to go spend like 5 years in Vietnam because, I ain't going to get able to write about this shit again. And then that's what the movie ended up coming out of. There's also a lot of like fun, like weird little fucking Easter eggs in that one too. Like, the scene where Joker's like, I want to be the first kid on my block to get a confirmed kill.
Yeah.
Okay, so when he's saying that, he's saying in front of a movie theater, and the movie theater says, playing tonight, whatever the fuck movie starring, I don't know what the name is that it says, but then the movie theater, the fucking headboard that's saying it's starring whatever, the star in that fictional movie is the actress of the sniper at the end that he fucking kills.
Huh.
There's a lot of like little fucking sewed together shit.
Like that. Band, the audiobooks, and smokes are the only things that keep me sane at work.
Hey, Ghost of Johnny Cash, fucking glad we can keep you fucking chugging along. Did you know that Johnny Cash was probably the first Westerner to know that Stalin was dead?
Huh.
Yeah, he was a fucking he was in the Air Force and he was at a listening post. And it came in and he's like, oh shit, Staff Sergeant.
There's gonna be some news. Staff Sergeant.
Yeah.
So yeah. Saving Private Ryan was number 5, Black Hawk Down was number 4, Full Metal Jacket was number 3. That movie
also on Full Metal Jacket, I do want to point out, like, everyone's got their favorite part of that movie. But my favorite part of Full Metal Jacket is when Pyle can't get over the fucking I forget what you call the fucking tower.
Confidence course, the little ladder.
No, I don't. The Stairway to Heaven. Fucking Early Ermy says, "Fucking get your slimy walrus looking ass off my fucking obstacle." And it's not because there's anything profound in that, except for like that was there's no way that wasn't ad libbed, and that's something that a drill instructor would actually say verbatim.
It was in true form.
Like, yeah, it's like, you know that's it. That's like fucking sifting through. It's like going out all fucking night and doing Jello shots, and then someone gives you a whiskey before you go to Jello shot.
The outraged disappointment in his character in that scene was palpable, because it's like he's yelling at him and giving him shit and telling him to quit and like, but it seems like he was actually trying to motivate him. And then the second he actually quits and starts climbing backwards, he transforms from like encouraging angry to really fucking furious. Like, are you seriously quitting, you piece of shit? Like, and the hate got turned up to 11. Like, I don't know. Yeah, no, earlier it was great in that movie. He was fun. I had a friend right after boot camp ask me, he's like, "Our drill instructors really like that," and I'm just like, "Oh, that's toned down." Like,
oh yeah, I love the interviews.
His screaming had to be coherent in order to be good for film. Like with real drill instructors, their face is red, they're spitting, they're screaming, the voices.
There's at least 2 of them.
Like and it's never just one guy yelling at you, and they're always like right here, like just.
If you're doing it, like there's one dude that's actually giving you instructions. Another dude that's like yelling obscenities, and then somebody from a different fucking platoon comes over and just like not even like trying to say words, just screaming in your fucking ear.
Yeah. Somebody else's drill instructor who you never met will like react to the noise, and like zombies in the fucking like World War Z just be like, oh, there's somebody's getting lifed over there, and they just.
Like, yeah, no, and then it's funny because people are like, "What, man, was that like? Was Full Metal Jacket like anything like real life?" It's like, dude, Full Metal Jacket was like 2 hours long, and you watched it on a screen. No, it wasn't at the fuck all.
Yeah, no, as far as boot camp goes, my favorite thing that any drill instructor said to me at the end of boot camp, somebody talked about something that maybe ought not to have happened, like earlier in training, because we were done and we were exchanging stories and just chatting with our DIs like we were people now. And somebody talked about, like, I don't know, being locked in the broom closet or slapped or like, denied shower or something stupid that's like big deal but not okay. And he was just like, this is all just a bad dream anyway. It just looks like this is all just a bad dream. None of this really happened. Like, you're gonna move on with your lives. And I just thought that was a really succinct take on like what boot camp is. It was all just a bad dream. You'll wake up eventually.
I got sent in the pit for something, and my drill instructor laughed the whole time, but it was like one of these fucking situations. And by laughed, it was like, while he wasn't yelling, he had his hat in front of his face, which means he's yelling. But our resident platoon fat kid, and if someone wants to challenge me on this, I got my boot camp book around here somewhere. I'll post it on Instagram. But our fat kid's name was Grande. I'm not shitting you on that, but he went to like medical or dental or something. And we're out on the parade deck, and fucking drill instructor is like, "Hey, so where the fuck is recruit Grande?" And I go, "He fell out, sir." And then it was like, "All right, so I'm gonna hide, go to the fucking pit." I'm like, "But that was funny. Go to the goddamn pit."
So, for anyone who doesn't know, when drill instructors hide their face with their campaign cover, they were laughing. But the face they would make at you and the way they would clench their fists and start to shake before they would do it made you think. And it was very convincing that they were like
they were good at it.
So angry that they had to cover their face and take a minute away from reality before they could like come back to reality and like, you know, ruin you for whatever just happened. But
they were actually great actors.
They were silent laughing. Like, yeah, no, they're wonderful actors. They really like, what a hard job too. You got to give them.
Fuck that. I would
being a drill instructor. Like, yeah, no, fuck. Everyone after boot camp wants to be a drill instructor, and then if you think about it for 5 minutes, you're just like, fuck no, dude. This would be terrible. Like, oh my god. Yeah, I had like a clogged salivary gland that ended up making my face swell up, and it like literally like was so swollen that it like kind of gave me low grade lockjaw. They sent me over medical to like see what was going on, and they actually like took like a metal rod and they like put it into the salivary gland through my mouth and like unclogged it, and had all this like calcium tasting saliva come out of it. I get back to the squad bay. I go up to the drill instructor's house and let him know I'm back and that I don't have any meds or anything. They just fixed it. He's like, so what was it? And I just like, you know, so this recruit's parotid duct had a calcium buildup that ended up impeding salivary flow to the, and he's just like, okay, yeah, there's a word for that. It's called semen. And I was just like, and like I don't think he expected to say it. I think he like, it came out before he could think about it. He just had one of those moments. We were towards the end of training. And I was in the middle of like, you know, sounding off, and he's like, yeah, there's a word for that. It's called semen. And then he like, I was like, and he was like, and he like reached for his cover and like knocked it off backwards. He's just like, go away. And I'm like, he turned around and went back in the house and slammed it. And I just heard him lose his shit laughing. And I was like, well, that was a really humanizing moment. I really enjoyed that.
But to wrap it around, early Ermy did a fucking amazing job in that. And the original drill instructor actor was the guy that ended up being the fucking helicopter fucking machine gunner. But apparently he'd scream for like 15 minutes and then need 2 days off, and early Ermy could just scream forever.
Yeah, need somebody who can just keep going. This is going to take a lot of takes. Yeah. You're talking about Kubrick.
Yeah.
Wasn't he notorious for like
making the moon landing?
I can't remember if he was famous for doing a lot of takes or very few takes, and that's
fucking apparently that scene while all the Marines are like held up behind the rubble after 8 Ball and Doc J get fucking shot. Apparently that was like 90 days fucking shooting or some shit. Like just that fucking scene.
No way.
It was at 90, but it was a fucking lie.
Yeah. Like Helm's Deep was like,
but Adam Baldwin was like, hey, so how about we just get a take for this? And Kubrick was like, how about we act?
Oh, what do you got to work for? Yeah. All right. So for anyone who just joined, because I mean we have 3, so probably concurrent. Yeah, never mind. We were going down our top 5 favorite dramatic war films, from 5 to 1. So 5 was Saving Private Ryan, 4 was Black Hawk Down, 3 was Full Metal Jacket, number 2. 1917.
That's a really good fucking movie.
Yeah, that movie just no notes. Awesome. Yeah, it's just a really good movie. Oh, DIY, Don the Builder's back.
Oh, Don, you're back. Penelope, no, my God, it's Penelope. Oh, my God, no.
All right, now we can talk about the book again.
We'll come back to the book list. Don't let us forget about the book list. But yeah, no, sorry, man. Had to kill her. Yeah. Dramatic effects and all that. Don't worry, I killed Jenny and Tom and fucking Hank and all them too. I mean, fucking kaboom.
Everybody dies. Some more permanently than others, but yeah.
Fucking, hey, listen, you can't have a story go fucking Macbeth without the story going Macbeth.
Dom, have you not read the books?
Oh, Hank will get over it. I don't think he's got no. I don't think he's read the books.
That's awesome. Your reactions are my favorite. I mean, I'm gonna have to go back and every so often, Trip and I, when we're listening to like the new chapters before he posts them to Patreon, I'll go through all the YouTube videos that he's posted since the last time I've done this, and I'll just read everyone's comments. It's a really fun exercise. Yeah, because nothing gives me warm and fuzzies more than people saying nice things about like something I'm helping work on. Like Like feedback is the greatest thing in the world. Even if it's like constructive criticism, even if it's destructive criticism, I low-key love haters.
Even if it's like, even if it's like neat, like one word, just neat. It's like, okay,
neat. Yeah.
Thanks. I mean, I appreciate the neat.
You could tell you could be British and tell me that my Frince voice acting sucked dick, and you never want to hear me do a British accent again, and I'd be like, yay, feedback. I enjoyed that, thank you. Also, mission accomplished. I said earlier, like I wanted this to be an infuriating character. If one of the reasons it infuriates you is that you are the target accent I was doing and I'm doing it poorly, mission still accomplished. Thanks for coming.
Well, I also enjoyed in the third one when Hank kills fucking Frince.
Everyone liked that. Everyone liked that.
Well, no, because like the running joke is like the point of his fucking character is that he's a faggoty ass prince, and then you think that, and then Hank shoots him, and then says it, and you're like,
"That's where I got the name."
Yeah, that's kind of one of those backronyms.
What's your problem anyway?
Also, to be fair, an M14 is a complete fucking bitch to put together, even if you know how to do it.
I don't know how to put together an M14.
It's a bitch.
Yeah, I bet.
I don't enjoy it.
I'd figure it out, but I have experience with weapons platforms. The aliens did not. So, like, no, yeah, they're not going to figure it out yet. That was the chef's kiss, says Robert Branch.
Tom was a cheeky fellow. I like Tom.
I love Tom. He was here earlier.
Yeah.
I might have missed him.
No, but yeah, what was it? Fucking my buddy History Daddy. We talked about that. Yeah, he played Tom, and I
couldn't remember if Don was here for that or not when we talked about it, so I was reiterating.
But Tom was also like a more dry humor smartass instead of just like, hey, here's your plain smartassery.
Yeah. No ticket. All right. Number 2 was 1917. That movie is a work of art. There's only one hard cut in the movie, and it's when the main character got knocked out.
And you know what's funny? If you go back and like
the movie magic they conducted.
It was fucking brutal. Like if you go back and like watch behind the scenes shit, like there isn't actually any take in there that's longer than I think 2 minutes, maybe 3.
Mm-hmm. They were just so clever with the way they worked. Yeah. Really extraordinary camera work. Just because like, you know, there's a hard way and there's an expensive way, and the way they did it was both.
Yeah, well, I mean, they would do stuff where it was like, all right, hey, so the sun is going to be in this position at this time of day for this fucking scene, so we're going to shoot this scene fucking 5 or 6 times because that's all we can, or over the course of 5 or 6 days because that's all we actually can do and have the shadows be right. But also there's got to be exactly this much fucking, you know, cloud curvature, and we're going to shoot it fucking 6 times a day anyway. And we're just going to fucking like go grab the fucking one that like works with the last take and splice them together. And it's going to seem like it's all one fucking fluid fucking motion. Although I also really loved how at the end of the movie, fucking Benedict fucking Cumberbatch was like, good work, Lance Corporal. Now fuck off. And it's like, that's the most realistic thing.
Yeah. No, fuck off. Yeah, it was amazing. Yeah. Robert says, no, it wasn't Robert. It was Dom said Men of Honor. Men of Honor fucks. It
that was a good movie.
Criteria. It does not fit the criteria.
It wasn't a war movie.
The criteria was it has to be a war movie. Not just a movie about people in the military. And it has to be like, you know, drama, nitty gritty, like depictions of like, you know, war is hell. Yeah. But no, Men of Honor rocks. I love that movie. It's a good one. And Cuba Gooding.
Also, something recent about a Navy SEAL, something of valor. I don't know what that one is.
What was it? Oh man, was it that Navy SEAL movie where they cast actual Navy SEALs?
Wasn't that 20 years ago?
It was a while ago. They sure couldn't act. I believe they were real Navy SEAls. It was fun though. But all right. And so after 1917, this is the movie that, and to be fair, one of the reasons it probably made it to the list is that Trip and I had both seen it, and it had given us both like nightmares, egregiously. What we decided based on the criteria: active valor. Yeah,
active valor. Okay, yeah.
Jumping on a grenade at the end. Roll credits. Shit, don't the Navy SEALs straight up operate in Mexico at the end of that movie?
I haven't seen it.
Doesn't it turn into a cartel thing? I don't know.
I only remember like one scene, and it's them like doing like river rat, like doing the like we're gonna do this on the river. Like that's all I remember from that movie.
Yeah, it was a fun one. The number one most gritty, dramatic, best war movie that on our list was the 2022 rendition of All Quiet on the Western Front.
Yeah, that was a fucking
that movie was 2.5 hours of torment.
Yeah,
and it was not fun to watch. It was not an enjoyable experience. I was miserable the whole fucking time. My heart sank scene after scene. It just destroyed me.
Yeah, no, like that was one of the few actually good anti-war films ever made, because like most anti-war films are like, yeah, war sucks. We're going, right?
No, let's
go. Hell. And someone's like, yeah, no, let's not do that, which it did a great job at. I do have gripes with that movie, but they are all that it completely fucking missed the point of the book.
Yeah, my only gripe with that movie is actually that Netflix preloads that movie to start with English dubs.
Does it?
Yeah. So my first 5 minutes watching that movie was getting really confused about like
I didn't get that. Like, when I turned it on, like it was in fucking German.
Mine came up in English, and I had to switch it and start it over. It's just like, why the fuck would that happen? Like,
yeah, no, fucking, but yeah, no, fucking. What I think made it successful is it was
Apocalypse Now. It was an honorable mention.
Yeah, absolutely. But and we'll come back to Apocalypse Now in a minute. But not 1914. Fucking All Quiet on the Western Front wasn't a war movie that was scary. It was a fucking horror movie that happened to be about war.
That featured war.
Yeah.
Now, when you find out that, like, literally they're signing the fucking like armistice ceasefire in like 24 hours, and their general is just like, that land is ours, we're taking it. And everyone's like celebrating and like nursing hangovers, and they find out that they have to go one more time. Like, my fucking, like, the sinking feeling I felt was like so palpable and profound. Like, I was having like sweating anxiety. It was really funny. It was like I was like just having a hard time getting to bed one night. I had a TV on my wall where I was living, and I was just like, I'll just put on a fucking movie. Oh, Quiet on the Western Front. Oh, okay, I didn't realize they remade that. Like, let's put that on. And I was just uncomfortably riveted and did not sleep that night.
What's funny though is, if I remember right, in the book, he dies way before that. But instead of it being like, hey, we're gonna go over one more time, it's gonna be this horrible thing, like it was like, hey, so like we haven't gone over the top in like 2 weeks. I think that like they're talking about ending the war soon. It might be a good thing. Hey, maybe we're all going home, and then like sniper kills him, and like it's like super anticlimactic for the point of being super anticlimactic. Like, like, oh, so we're gonna go down a blaze. No, you're just gonna get like shot randomly, like while you're taking a piss break, because fuck you.
Bummer.
Yeah, but then again, fucking like there was also a part in it that I understand why they didn't put it in the new movie, because the new movie was fucking, geared towards being a certain type of fucking film. But I forget what his name is, but the main character, he either gets shrapneled up or he gets shot or something, but he goes home, and this is a big part of the fucking book. And he talks to his fucking like high school fucking teacher, who was all like, yeah, you got to go like fight for the fatherland. And he's like, hey, guy, you've been telling everybody like go fight for this war. Hey, were you ever in the military? Do you gun? Oh, you never held a gun in your life. Huh. All right, cool. And then like he goes to the coffee shop, and everybody's like, yeah, dude, if I was on the front line, they couldn't send me out there because I'd punch my drill instructor in the face because I'm so badass. And like, I couldn't be out in the trenches because I just kill all the English and Frenchmen, and like the war be over like real quick. They couldn't send me. And he's like, all right. Like, there's a lot of that
Love that kind of commentary. Yeah.
And it's like, oh, that's not a me experience. That's a everyone who's ever been in the military experience. Like the good parts of the book, All Quiet on the Western Front, are the shit that doesn't translate into a movie because, like, if not to be the Vietnam,
the movie has the movie.
Yeah, movie has the movie. But like the good parts of the book are, if you weren't there, you're not going to understand it.
Or you need to spend a lot of time building it up and explaining it, which you can do in a book. Yeah. But yeah,
and not there like a trend, but like not there as in haven't fought in a war or haven't been in the military, and like come home and listen to your fucking dumb aunt talk about like, well, we should just go over there and kick all their asses. It's like, listen, Samantha.
Listen, Yennefer.
Yeah.
I'm gonna refill my drink if that's okay with you.
You go refill your drink.
So and we are 90 minutes into this. I don't know how much longer you want to
go. It's up to you, man. Fucking, I can go all night, or fucking if you want to bounce out, it's up to you.
Do another 15 or so. I'm gonna top off. All right. Please hold.
While you do that, I'll entertain the audience, and then you can return the favor on the flip side.
Sweet. All right. BRB.
Yeah, so while he's gone, and again, I'm not going to give you any spoilers. Fucking, you can listen when you listen. But we are shrugging along into Smokepit Fairytales 4. We won't be having an episode next week. We're still going to be doing this with the other voice actors. I got a schedule for it. I think I told you at the end of the last chapter-sode, but 2 weeks from now, we'll be diving into Smokepit Fairytales 4. I think over on Patreon we're up to chapter 13 or 14, I believe. The other thing though with Smokepit Fairytales 4 is that it is the longest book. It's a bit shy of 40 chapters long. So while we have about as much content done for 4 as there was total in 3. Like, we're barely fucking into it, but we will be diving into it fucking soon.
Oh my god! And before so long,
it's gonna be a good time for everybody. But I'm going to go make another drink, and I'm going to take a piss too. But while I'm doing that, Chuck's going to tell you nothing plot wise about the 4th book. But
I can handle that.
But what they've got to look forward to.
I don't know what you're talking about. I haven't read book 4. There is no book 4. There is no Warren Bossing say. No, all right. So yeah, now I'm sitting here by myself. I can talk to myself. That's chaos theory. I can't remember how that line goes. I'm gonna do like comment response. I think you're right. Cartel, Terror Cells. Yeah. Act of Valor. I remember more about that movie than I thought I did. Apocalypse Now definitely scores. Driving to DC tomorrow for the weekend. Bro-in-law retiring from the Air Force. He's retiring? They did like a whole fucking like 20 plus years. Like, good for him. What rank did he make it to? So yeah, 4th book stuff. Yeah, I think I got the tail end about what Trip was saying about how, like, even though we're barely scratching the surface on chapters that have been fully produced, there's already more content than the entirety of book 3. Book 4 is like, it's like 500 pages long. It's crazy. And yeah, I have quite a bit of dialogue in it. And anybody who knows why, because you're on the Patreon or you were here when we workshopped the idea, don't say anything. Full bird. Well, holy hell, that is quite the rank. Colonel. Cannot even imagine. I was a sergeant when I got out of the Marines. I think Trip was a sergeant too. He was a sergeant for a lot longer than I was, though. Feels like I was a sergeant for like 5 minutes. It was the best rank ever, though. I was like, man, if anybody told me how awesome being a sergeant was, I might have decided to stay in longer. Except for being in charge of a platoon on like field X's, like that's a bummer. Yeah, we mentioned earlier. Woo, E5. Yeah, that's the rank. It's a good place to be. He returns.
What a mess.
I read a couple of comments, responded to them.
Start talking about number one is Apocalypse Now. Yeah, Apocalypse Now counts as an honorable mention. I think it wouldn't be quite on that list because it is more of a drama and less of a. It is more of a drama in a war zone than it is a war movie.
Yeah, it takes place like in and around war.
Yeah. Driving to DC tomorrow for the weekend. Bro-in-law retired from the Air Force. Oh, well, fucking retired as a full bird. Good the fuck for him. Congratulations.
And I said, also, I only got the sergeant. He said, me too.
Oh, yeah, me 3.
Yep. I said, it's a good rank. I was like, man, if anybody told me how awesome being a sergeant was, I might have stayed in longer.
Mm-hmm.
Staff ain't too bad. It's been more of a fucking headache at my annual training in June. Yeah, staff and CO. This is a rank I honestly didn't want. I ended up getting an update on Marine Corps Online, like maybe a year after getting out. I was still in the inactive reserves, and they gave me I can't remember what they called them. It was like what is it called when like you were getting like selected for promotion?
Like in zone.
Yeah, I was in zone. Yeah, I was in zone for staff sergeant. And then like they're like, all right, so now that you're in zone, like we're gonna promote people in order, and then you'll do a board. Let's see if we promote you. But I was just like, I don't know. I had so few staff NCOs in my Marine Corps career who truly inspired me and made me feel like they were worth the
rocker.
That I was just like, no, I have to stay in order to give back for the ones that really made it like worthwhile for me. The ones who made me feel like I had kick-ass leadership and gave a damn. But then I was just like, if I stay in, I'm going to do everything I just did again. I'm just going to do you again. I'm just going to like, I'm like, I don't know.
No, I kind of feel on that because like not all, but the vast majority of good staff NCOs that I had, they were my corporals and sergeants when I was a PFC and a lance corporal, and when I was a sergeant, they were my fucking gunny. You know,
it was a small enough community that I was in, that like I had basically met everybody. Yeah.
Do you want to talk about a fucking small community, right? So like I was combat camera, right? With combat camera, and then I did a little fucking psyops for a bit, and combat. Yeah, but combat camera and public affairs go to the same fucking schoolhouse, and combined total, like I think there's like. It might be different now, but when I was in, there was like 200 or 300 people in those MOSs, right? So after Trump fucking nominated this JD Vance dude who was a public affairs guy.
Also, for a public affairs guy, the things that he's willing to say out loud in front of human people with ears, it's pretty astounding.
Yeah. And you know, I want to come back to that in a minute because there's some shit where it's like everyone's like, "Oh my god, he fucked the couch," and it's like, "Well, yeah, he was a Marine. What the fuck do you want?"
I was thinking more along the lines of him suggesting that people without kids shouldn't get a vote.
I get it. A Marine. What do you want? No. But the other thing is like after fucking made the announcement, I never heard of this fucking guy because he's from Ohio, and fuck Ohio. I lived in Akron for a few years. I could say that.
I was born in Akron. Yeah.
We could say that. So like I'm not voting. Like I'm like because he's from Ohio. Also because he's fucking PAO, which PAO in combat camera is kind of like Ohio and Michigan, or Ohio and West Virginia, or Ohio and Pennsylvania, or Ohio and the rest of Ohio. Yeah. Those damn Ohioans, they ruined Ohio. Yeah. Anyway.
Them Scots, they do it in Scotland.
So there's a few fucking layers of that. But as soon as he did that, like I went on Facebook. I was like, hey, so this JD Vance guy who was PAO between 2004 and 2006, who knows him? And like 6 people are like, yep, right here. I'm like, did he leave Al Assad? No one fucking answered that question because like he was a PAO dude who deployed with the air wing, went to Iraq and hung out on Al Assad. Like, so did he leave base? No one ever answered me on that. I'm like, okay, all right, cool. So he's one of those PAO dudes who like writes stories about shit after combat camera brings the pictures back. Got it. But also JD Vance seems like the kind of guy. He seems like the kind of guy that like would have questions during the safety brief.
It's yeah. Everyone wants to go on their weekend. Oh, I got a question. Like,
What happens if I no, shut up. We're all trying to go home. I just think it's so funny that like as soon as he was picked, like Trump was literally asking, is it actually possible for me to change my pick? Can I get rid of this guy?
Did he? Did he? I didn't fucking hear that.
Yeah, he's like, I want to go to this guy. Like, no, sorry, that's the ticket. You're stuck with him, but he's been such a PR disaster. Oh my god.
No, one of the other ones though is also for anybody listening at home. I'm not endorsing or demonizing any candidate. I'm completely talking off the wall shit. But one of the things that has bothered the fuck out of me is the thing where they're like doing the fucking like VP fucking shit, and they're gonna share a meme of half of it is fucking JD Vance's boot camp pick because it's the only picture they have of him doing anything fucking Marine Corps wise. Also, if you're not familiar with the public affairs combat camera fucking thing, public affairs are like who combat camera calls Pogues, and that is in this fancy. That imagine Motor T and a cat platoon. That is the difference between Motor T and cat. That's the difference between PAO and ComCam. So like that is gonna fucking be there. But there's this fucking thing going around.
I have nothing bad to say about Motor T. They are very important to me.
No, they aren't. But like, they're also not fucking cat.
No, only cat's cat. But like, I love Motor T.
Yeah. Anyway, fucking, they'll show a picture of that, and then the other part will be the other picture part of the image is it's supposed to be talking about. It's supposed to be shit talking about fucking goddamn Kamala Harris, but it's a picture of her and fucking Montel Williams. And Montel Williams, who joined as a fucking private in the Marine Corps, who was the first Black Marine to go to fucking the Naval Academy and who joined the fucking Marines as a private in the fucking mid-70s and got out of the Navy as a lieutenant commander in the fucking mid-90s. Like, don't fucking wrap my boy Montel into this. Like, get a different picture of Kamala.
Get his name out your goddamn mouth.
Get Montel Williams out of your fucking mouth.
Get my Montel's name out your goddamn mouth.
Wait, hold on. You mean this guy that joined the Marine Corps as a fucking private and then like worked his way up to lieutenant commander and decided, hey man, I'm bored. I'm going to go fuck San Francisco's DA.
I just want to say for the record, also.
Like no, seriously. Okay, so this sailor used to be a Marine, decided he just wanted to fuck fucking San Francisco's DA, which at the like, listen, you can talk all you want about fucking Kamala Harris, but at the time, that's what she was. And he was like, yeah, that's what I want to do Thursday. Yeah, dude, fucking Montel Williams, a fucking baller. Keep him out of your fucking meme.
Yeah. I want to say the reason I love Motor T so much is that whenever I didn't have shit going on in the bays, we didn't have anything to work on that day. I would just like go hang out with Motor T and ask them to teach me how to like, fix Humvees for real because those things were such pieces of shit. And I was one of our platoons like Moo Boss Humvee drivers, and
I might have been a little unfair with Motor T in that fucking analogy.
You got some good favors for Motor T if you expressed interest in their job, and we're like, hey, you want to get me out of like fucking bullshit at the bays like SL3ing and like teach me how to like actually fix a gas Jenny or like teach me how to actually fix one of these trucks, and they're just like, oh, you like us, you care about us, and like I always got the good Humvees assigned to me.
Weird how that works.
Yeah, like they're good guys. Also, if you take a Humvee out that sucks and breaks, like you're in a lot of trouble.
Dude, I remember one time we were doing fucking PM on the fucking motor pool, and we were taking the fucking we're checking the fucking headlights on the Humvees, and they were all full of fucking window fucking cleaning fluid. And I was like, first off, like, congratulations on getting hazed and you got the fucking blinker fluid in there. Secondly, this is like a flat plate that goes in the front. How the fuck did you get blinker fluid in there? I mean, like, I know it's like windshield fluid, but you thought it was blinker fluid, and that's how.
I'm so impressed. Yeah.
Like, come on, man.
My favorite ever Humvee experience was I had a broken transmission line and lost all my transmission fluid before we even got to the field, and I was stuck in third gear, which is like the only gear you can be stuck in that will still work. But like accelerating from zero took like a full minute and a half to very slowly get the vehicle running, and it was a huge engine strain.
And then I could only get it to about 40 miles per hour before I was redlining the engine. But changing gears was no longer a thing. Literally, we were like on our way back to base, and I was stuck at a red light that was like at the slightest ever incline, and I could not get moving. And I just like radioed the guy behind me. I was just like, we ditched my trailer and put it on one of the other trucks. I just had a bunch of guys in the back. We ended up switching who was like doing what. I was like, I told my A driver, I'm just like, give the guy behind us a call and tell him to push. And he's just like, what do you mean? I'm like, push us with his truck. Hit my truck with your truck gently to get me rolling. From then on, he would just come up and I'd like put pedal to the metal, and it's like, and then he comes up behind me and just goes and just gives me a nice little love shove, and I like got rolling, and then I was good, but we couldn't go over 40. And what it actually turns out at the end of the day is that I had taken the wrong truck. I was given a truck, and they took me out to the truck, and when you looked at the like serial number of the truck I was supposed to have and the truck that I had, they were not the same truck. I took out a broken truck that like had transmission issues, and it's really funny. That's what not being on good side with Motor T gets you. Learn my lesson. Yeah, that was hilarious though.
Also fucking like motor. I don't want to say Motor T. The motor pool, not necessarily related to Motor T Marines, but like a lot of motor pools were criminally fucking understaffed, and I've been to more than one command where
there was one guy running the pool when I took that.
Oh yeah, like I've been to more than one command where like there was a full fucking fleet of vehicles, and then like only 2 Motor T guys, and then everyone else is either a FAP or like fucking like, hey, fucking admin guy, go hang out at the motor pool. And I was like,
need more hands.
Isn't there a fucking MOS for this? Like,
we were trying to shrink the Marine Corps when I got out, and that's what we were looking at motor pool. Like that's.
I mean, they got rid of tanks, snipers, and artillery. So I mean, fuck it.
My God, I can't believe that.
Yeah.
Our Scout snipers are so cool. I love those guys.
Yeah, no, and like on one hand, like if you were to give me the baseline argument to where it's like, hey, listen, Marines are only ever supposed to be like beach guys, it's like maybe, but are you also planning on making the Marine Corps not a fucking second ground army? Because the Marine Corps has been a second ground army for 100 fucking years, which has been about a third of America's existence. So what's the game plan here, buddy?
Storming again. Not as loudly as last night.
Oh yeah, the last night was raining as fuck.
Yeah, it was intense.
Yeah.
But I don't know. You want to talk a little bit more about book 3 before we wrap this up?
Oh, yeah.
Surprising little of that. Sorry if for anyone listening loves the books. If we have the attention of a fucking rodent.
Yeah. Please comment section. Fucking throw shit at fucking. What are y'all's opinions on air traffic controllers? There was a reference, I think, in either book 1 or 2. Fucking, I have.
What did you say about air traffic control?
I don't know what I said about air traffic controllers. I know that fucking Dan Donnelly, the first American manga guy, he was a fucking air traffic controller guy.
My opinion is thank fuck.
I don't have an opinion on air traffic controllers.
Thank fuck they exist. It's really it's
like.
Do you want Breaking Bad? Because this is how you get Breaking Bad. Like, you know, not
the crystal meth, the plane crashing into your house. Like, you need a guy on the radio going, "Hey, land here."
Like, yeah, really important job that things fall apart real fucking fast. And it's high stress too, because when, like, you know, all of our time on ship, actually, I don't know about you, but all of my time on ship, both floats I was on were on damn, that's some rain.
Yeah, no, but for the most part, we were both on the big deck the whole fucking time.
Yeah, we were both on amphibious
like I was on the Macon and then the BHR, and then you were what? Peleliu in the BHR?
Yeah, I was on the Peleliu and the BHR, and they both have flight decks. They both did Harrier takeoffs. And like every so often you'd go up there and watch them conduct like you know, takeoffs and landings, and it's like really fucking labor intensive shit. People running around like chickens with their heads cut off, but it's extremely coordinated and like time sensitive and just absolute perfectionist level like work, and I'm so impressed with that. My grandpa was a fighter pilot in the Marines back in the Korean era, and he describes like, aircraft carrier takeoffs and landings, and just like, it's a well-oiled machine. It's the only way it can be. Except for the one time a guy fell off the front of the aircraft carrier. A little less well-oiled. They didn't have nets back then. He lived. He went under the entire length of an aircraft carrier, and he popped up the other end, still breathing.
Good for him.
Right? Like everyone saw him go over, and everyone ran up to the front and looked over, and they just saw him bob up, see the ship about to hit him, and he just goes under, and then everyone went, fuck, and they all ran to the back of the boat, and they just waited, and it was like 2 full minutes, and then he just pops up behind the boat, just like screaming. And like the way Grandpa tells the story, the guy's like, yeah, man, I saw myself getting pulled towards the props, and I just thought, oh, this is how I die. And then the current just like threw me around them somehow, and I was just like, well, that was close. And then I remembered breathing was a problem, and I started going for the surface again. I'm just like, God, that's scary.
Yeah, no, dude, fucking water does not sound good. But anyway, I had to ask. I think it was some fucking SGM in book 1 that Hank and Doc were talking shit about. I do remember there was one first sergeant that Doc said that he was gonna fucking kill because he wouldn't let him into the fucking chow hall to get dinner because they were fucking like unshaven and dirty and shit. And in real life, that guy was based off of a fucking weather fucking guy that like ended up being in the first sergeant in a fucking grunt fucking company. But I don't remember if I said in the book that he was a weather guy.
Val Kilmer, Top Secret.
I almost forgot Val Kilmer, Top Secret. Dude, I haven't seen that in a fucking minute.
I don't know if I've ever seen that one. And maybe
also it's good. It's good. If I remember right. Well, they also asking because I are not one.
IR1. Good old Army Nasty Guard.
Ah. Yeah, I don't remember a fucking.
Well, that's a cool job.
Yeah,
I think.
Yeah, I don't remember.
I think it's neat. Yeah.
I don't remember that. I'm not saying it didn't happen. I'm just saying I don't remember it.
Hard for you to remember all of the 1 million word saga that you wrote? Because you guys realize that this is a 1 million word franchise.
It's 1,011,000 words. And also, Hank and Doc are assholes if you didn't pick up on that.
It came out to 1,011,000, not in the like second to last final draft. I like to. We did a word count.
We did a word count before the last 3 books came out, and it was like 400 words short of 1 million.
A million, and
then I was like, you know what, fuck it, I'm just gonna go add fluff to the last 3 fucking books.
A little bit of fluff, gotta break 1 million. Sorry, like had to do it. Like now it's 1 million words because I remember just guesstimating. I'm like, this has got to be 1 million words or close to it, and like we spent like not a huge amount of time just like adding up the word count. Yeah, it didn't take too long.
Yeah. No, it was all fun stuff I fucking added. Most of it was to the last book where it was like, oh, I didn't fucking make fun of this thing. Let me go add half a chapter real quick that pokes fun at this. But also
wrap up this fucking thread. Like, oh, that'll take a few pages.
Yeah, but also it was shit where it was like, hey, there's a joke I meant to wrap up in book 5 or 6.
Yeah, and that needs in there.
Let's go ahead and do it here.
Yeah,
and it counts.
Still counts. Yeah, 1 million word franchise. Yeah, you don't remember all 1 million words? That's crazy. It's crazy talk. No, I'm actually quite certain that, and I mean, don't let me talk for you, but that people who are reading these books, like for fun right now, probably know them better than you do.
Than we do, yeah. There's been several people that have been like, oh, hey, fucking, you said this and that in these 2 books. Oh my god, I love how you tied these 2 things together, and it's like, I completely forgot both of those things exist. I'm just really happy that they fucking flow together.
I'm glad that worked.
It's be really embarrassing if it didn't.
Because I was a big soundboard for like just workshopping ideas like while you're writing them all. But at the same time, like right now, like we only have time to reread like what we're recording right now. Yeah. And I read other books for fun. And I don't know if you've heard of Trip. But Trip is one of the most artistically prolific people I've ever met. Like Trip is balancing organizing, recruiting, assimilating, and producing like all of these chapters. I'm recording a fuck ton of like lines for these. We're listening to them. He's putting them on Patreon. And he actually has a really strict like weekly time schedule regiment for like, you know, having time slots kind of booked out for working on the audiobooks and then working on painting and then working on like writing new material that I won't say anything about because that's still in the nascent. Like,
which side note, fucking my resume looks fucking awesome. I just haven't felt the need to send it to anybody, but also who the fuck would accept that? But also Robert, I just love how I can really relate to the books because it's shit that I fucking say to one of my friends. Yeah, no, I think that's like the other thing though too is like a lot of people fucking like take military dramas and war stories, whatever you want to call them, way too fucking seriously. Yeah.
I remember reading through these a lot and just like remembering the conversation that inspired this like dialogue. I'm just like, oh shit, that was us, and you're like, yeah.
No. I think even people that were fucking like in war or fucking whatever, like they'll go to write something and then they'll limit themselves because they're like, I don't want to put this humor in there because this is supposed to be about how war is bad. And it's like, yeah, war can be bad, and your buddy can make a really funny fucking dick joke. And these two things can't exist in the same universe. Y'all know that, right?
Yeah.
No, just me? Just me.
No spoilers, okay. But book 4, like I was around for the writing of book 1 and 2. We were on ship together. Book 3, I wasn't in anymore. You were in 29 Palms, and we just like had FaceTime conversations about it. Not as sophisticated as we do these days, but like, yeah, like call me on your phone. Yeah. But like book 4, 5, and 6 is when, even though I was around for the like first 3, and a lot of my conversations ended up getting included in them, the character that's actually based on me is in book 4. And it's really ironic because I don't voice him, but his name is Chuck. Like I don't voice him. He was actually loosely based off of 2 of us. Neither of us voice him. That's so funny to me.
Yeah.
And the person who does voice him, the character based on him, is also in the book, and he does not voice them.
It's a weird loop.
He voices me, which is just really fun. Like knowing that that's the me character, and also Jude. But neither of us voice him.
Yeah.
It's really fun. I don't want to say like too many more names or anything. I don't want to ruin anything about book 4, but like, yeah, it's just, I don't know. Book 4 is
I don't know, man. Fucking like
I'm excited. Fun basics for a few minutes, but then like some really fucking cool action, like some really good shit. Like I love book 3. Book 3 is dark. Book 3 is almost morbid, a little bleak. Like it's hard not to be. The apocalypse just happened, and Hank is just trying to get home. He's just trying to find his wife. He's just trying to get back to whatever semblance of life he can reclaim. And then it ends with this like really suspenseful, thrilling cliffhanger of like, and then I hit the button. And then book 4 is a different flavor for a while, and it's just really, it's a fun change of pace. And I think that those of you who haven't read it yet are going to really enjoy it. We're certainly having fun making the audiobook experience.
Yeah, and we're already into it. And then like this isn't a spoiler for plot or anything, but while I was writing the 4th book, I kind of came into the mindset that like, oh hey, I know how to write music. These characters should know how to write music. Let's. I'm not saying the 4th book's a musical because it's not. It's not a musical.
Why are you singing Figaro?
There are a couple of chapters that are like that. Not seriously like the fucking like bad musical episode or anything. Like
oh. While we're live, how about a shout out to Luke and Wartime Stories getting picked up by Mr. Ballin Studios. Oh my god, I gotta call Luke. I didn't know that. Yeah, I
don't know who Mr. Ballin Studios is. Fucking somebody else said it. I googled them. I'm like, all right, neat, and then like moved on because I don't know who the fuck that is. And
Luke was actually when Trip met Luke was my team leader. He was one of my training chiefs when I first got into the radio reconnaissance platoon, and then he was my team leader for a year-long MEO, which was a total pleasure. And
he's good dude.
For the two of you watching, I was actually a guest vocalist in Wartime Stories for the Roy Benavidez 3-part series that he did, 60 Hours in Hell or whatever it was. I think I played Slim, which was a ton of fun. And working for Luke is like working for a real director. Luke will get on the phone with you and have you do readings, and then have you do different readings and give you direction and tell you what he wants and tell you how he wants it to sound. And like it was a ton of work, but it was a ton of fun.
Yeah.
His channel is hugely impressive. Like
dude, like I'm fucking stunned by what he's got to get done.
Much like I said, like about you being one of the most like diversely prolific artists I've ever met. Luke is one of those people who like can't do anything halfway. Everything I've ever seen him do has always been just fucking over the top extra. He just gets so good at shit.
Yeah.
He was the honor grad at every fucking course he went to. If you asked him to carve something, draw something, write something, make something, he would just like become a subject matter expert and just like knock it out of the park. He's a very talented man.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's one of those hyper capable people. Just like, you want it taken care of, Luke will take care of it.
Dude, he will, and he's good at it. Fucking, and I appreciated fucking his shit. I loved having him on, and also something that didn't get brought up yet. And I'm sure it will be in other fucking live streams. But like, Toshi got done dirty in this book.
No, Toshi.
And I really enjoyed fucking.
Who filled in for Toshi in book 3? Was it Travis? Or did Luke come back? Luke came back.
Luke came back.
Okay, all right. I remember there was a minute there where you weren't sure if you were going to be able to get Luke back.
No, I got Luke back for it.
Travis did a fucking good Luke, though.
Dude, no, like fucking, I didn't.
Shout out to Travis. Travis is a fucking all-star, like, voice actor. Like, I listened to the first, like, when we weren't sure if we were going to have Luke, Travis was, like, going to do the Toshi reading.
The Toshi shit,
yeah. And I listened to it, and I was like, it took me a second, and I've known Luke for a decade. Like,
yeah.
Like, for more than a decade. And I'm like, is that not Luke? And you're like, no, it's Travis. I'm like, holy shit, he's good. It took me a minute. Like,
yeah,
Travis is a god. Like,
yeah, no, and then also not to be
bashful about praising.
Oh,
Travis.
dude, yeah, no, absolutely, fucking like they're both fucking phenomenal fucking voice actors, and like it bothers
for the three here. Travis is
he plays the Fonz
at the end of book 3, and he was the Fonz in book 2.
He played that. Yeah, he played a couple other people here and there, but what is it?
He played several other people. Yeah.
Yeah, Toshi got washed down with some fava beans and a nice bottle of Chianti. Yeah, no, he did. He did. No, dude, and the other fucked up thing though is like not to downer this too much, but Toshi was based off of a guy. He was on Armu. He was fucking Fox Company's fucking XO. His name was fucking Grady Kirpashi. And we did a lot of shit with whatever I think it was Fox Company. We did a lot of shit with fucking Fox Company, and I forget who their fucking CEO was, but their CEO was a giant fucking idiot. And Lieutenant Kirpashi fucking got like kept that company fucking doing shit. And he's who I based Toshi off of. But he fucking got out of the Marines, and he was in the Marines. Like he was in Fallujah as like a corporal or a fucking sergeant. Fucking went to school, got his fucking commission, did his shit, and then by the time we were doing our stuff, he was moving up in the world. I think he got out as a fucking captain or a fucking major, but he ended up getting fucking killed in Ukraine 2 years ago, I think. But they got his remains home earlier this year or late last year or so. Yeah, Russians.
Damn.
Yeah. But like, I don't know how much fucking shit you had to do with fucking any of the line companies on that fucking deployment, but yeah, the guy Toshi was based off of was the XO, and the CO was like extremely fucking incompetent, and it was very Kip and Zach Brannigan, which is why Toshi was like the get shit done fucking character, because fucking
in the game of chess you can never let your opponent see your pieces.
I always found the most erotic part of the woman is the booby.
The most erotic part of a woman is the boobies.
Yeah. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, we're gonna bounce out here in just a minute or two. So if you got anything else you want to shove down in the comments, you want us to fucking talk about or look at,
yeah. What you got?
Yeah, fucking fire your final shots.
Save rounds.
Save rounds.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also, De La Garza was based off of a real guy too, except for he was a cook in 3rd Battalion, 4th Marines, and the only reason he got in there is because the name was so fucking ridiculous.
And yet, not a single schmuckatelli.
Yeah, no schmuckatellis, but like there was a lot of like random. Oh, that's a weird name. I like that. Like, I mean, De La Garza got schwacked too, but fucking that was by a giant in a cave after they didn't eat goat milk and cheese and shit.
Mm-hmm. Once again, yes, hello. I have read the Odyssey.
Yes.
Fucking, oh my god, who voice acted the Cyclops pilot?
Oh yeah, that was Steve Augustin. He's
he's
fucking great.
He's so over the top. Oh man, I'll have to DM you for your
PO box. I got something to send you. All right, cool. Yeah, dude, I put my PO box address at the end of the fucking last video. It's in there. But for anybody watching later, if you want it, it's box 12. Asheville, PA 16613.
Neat.
Yeah. Don't mail me a bomb. I'll fucking get the Secret Service on you. They won't do anything about it.
They won't be able to do anything about it.
but I'll get a hard on watching fucking. What was that chick from
all
South
our
Carolina?
faith in institutions?
What is it? What is her name? Mace, fucking Senator Mace. Like, I don't know who the fuck that was 2 days ago. But I was like, oh my god, I never had a hard on watching C-SPAN before. This is great.
Eviscerating the fucking director of Secret Services for just utter humiliating incompetence. Like, okay, so did you have that building secured? We were under the impression that the local police had that building secured. Was it your job or the local police's job to ensure the safety of former president?
Dude, I just love that the fucking there was finally a fucking senator that
like.
I just love there was a senator that finally fucking nutted up and said that was a yes or no question.
Yeah,
fuck you, that you're full of shit. It's like, oh. You can say that? Fuck!
Yeah. It's nuts. It was nuts.
Yeah.
No spoilers, but it's a shirt.
Okay.
You're getting a shirt.
Killer.
Trip likes shirts.
Thank you.
He wears those. I also wear shirts. This one's plain white.
It's plain white tee.
Uh-huh. Yeah, it goes with the fucking. It ties the look. Yeah, it ties the look together. I look like a fucking greaser.
Yeah.
Stay golden, pony boy. Yeah, I don't know. The story behind my jacket. I left this jacket at Tripp's house, and Tripp told me that he was going to take it out to the range and shoot it if I didn't come back and get it soon. So I came back, and Tripp was like, "Yeah, no, let's go downstairs and have a look at your jacket." I poked it through. I poked it full of holes, and his wife was in on the joke too.
And my wife doesn't bullshit. She's got a very
bullshit,
extremely dry fucking sense of humor.
But he told the lie in a way that she could get away with. Like, oh yeah, no, he poked it full of a lot of holes. And I'm just like, oh god damn, he really did shoot up my jacket. All right, like, it didn't cost me a lot of money. Like, I think I found it on a clearance rack at Lucky Brand Jeans for like $40, which is like pretty good deal. Lucky, like, for jacket. Jeans cost a lot of money.
I think this is Lucky too, but
nice. I spent like $40 on it. I like it. I was in the market for a bomber jacket. I didn't realize I was going to go with an all black one. But then I came downstairs and he had sewn on the Smokepit Fairytales badge.
So on that, real quick, I've told people in the videos. I don't know if I told you, but I only have 9 of these left.
Of the originals?
I only have 9 of these left. And then once they're gone, they're gone. I have a different patch that's going to go in the war chest after this. So if you want one of these, you got to get a war chest. And then even then, it's only the next 9.
3 of you could get 3 of the 9. Shit, I have another one of those, right? Yeah.
So after that, fucking it's gonna be a different patch.
Damn.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah. But yeah. All right. And does anyone else have any saved rounds? Chuck, do you have any saved rounds for the 3rd book?
Do I have any saved rounds for the 3rd book? I enjoyed getting to play Doc and Frince. I am sad that I did not get to reprise Jerry.
No. Jerry does get talked about a little bit in the 4th book, though.
I'm just sad that Jerry died off screen because acting out Frince's death was Might be. I mean, fuck, the third book, everyone's dead.
Yeah, everyone's dead.
Yeah, no spoilers. My bad. I don't think that's much.
Yeah, it's not a big spoiler.
It's shocking that Penelope was still around when he got back to San Diego.
Yeah, it was. But then we killed her, so what? Fuck it.
Good.
I mean, it sucks because I really like Penelope, and I still fucking make art of her, even though fucking the last book she was in was 17, 18, fucking a minute ago. I don't know.
But yeah. Frince was a ton of fun. Had a lot of fun.
Frince was a ton of fun.
Being a prick. Doc is a ton of fun. I was really pumped that I still had some Frince lines at the latter half of book 3 because Doc washed away. About 2/3 of the way in, and God only knows what happened to him. But Doc is my normal talking guy voice. But Jerry was my impersonation of
Patrick Warburton. Yeah.
Cusco's poison. The poison for Cusco. The poison chosen specifically to kill Cusco. Cusco's poison.
The spoiler alert of the cliffhanger. The cliffhanger specifically made for the spoiler alert.
The spoiler alert for the cliffhanger. The cliffhanger made specifically for the end of book 3. Give me that cliffhanger. Gotcha. And not the best Warburton impersonation, but it gets the job done. Yeah. I mean, I don't want to sound exactly like Patrick Warburton. I just wanted to sound Patrick Warburton adjacent.
Yeah. Although my fucking
you're out there.
Not to use fucking the word out of context, but even though in that chapter it was like the first chapter of the fucking second book, where Frince and Doc and Jerry were all talking.
I got to have a 3-way conversation with myself.
Yeah. And you know what the real shame of that though is and I'm going to use some words out of context here. Sorry, people. But you did a fucking great job at that. It was good. It was fucking great. But you got absolutely cucked by Travis's fucking Chardons.
Right? Because Travis is so good. I wanted so badly to be Chardons because he's just such a cool character, and I had a really great voice in mind. And then I heard Travis's Chardons, and I'm just like, thank God I was already overbooked for this chapter because Chip didn't want 4 of me. Talking. I'm like, wow. I hate to say this, but I want to have sex with his vocal rendition of Chardons. He's a sexy sounding man.
Yeah.
God, it was a good voice. And then he was just kind of a little bit more of a gruff Cockney version of that voice, when he was the assassin at the end of book 3. And I was just like, oh, it's like Chardons is back. Oh, my heart.
Yeah, no, it was funny because when you and I were listening to it, you're like, why is Chardons shooting Hank and Penelope? It's like, dude, that's the same voice actor. It's not the same guy.
Not the same guy. I'm like, oh.
Fuck, go back. I gotta listen to this again.
I don't know.
Start from zero.
The confusion happened because I was just like, Chardons? I don't remember this being Chardons. And you're like, yeah, shirts. And I was just like, oh, wait, you meant Travis. Yeah. And I'm like, oh, it's not Chardons. I got so confused. We wrote this 10 years ago. You wrote that a long time ago.
Yeah, no, I think I wrote that one in.
Again, like I said, people listening
or 18
probably know the books better than we do.
There are people that pop in every once in a while. It's like,
why do you know so much about this thing I did? It's flattering, thank you. Yeah. I had a great time doing vocal lines for that book. I'm having a wonderful time.
Everyone at home, you've got nothing to do except for look forward to fucking what's coming in book 4.
It'll be great. Everyone had a good time. We have recorded. You've produced 12, 13 chapters, but we have
which by the way, what was it? Book 3, 17 chapters long, but 13 chapters of book 4 is about a quarter of it.
Yeah.
It's
a big one.
It's a big fucker.
You guys been listening to it for a while. Yeah.
Fourth was the biggest book. I think we'll be doing the live streams again for book 4 in June. I think we did the math on it.
Yeah.
In June of 2025. It's a long fucking book.
We could do a premiere. I'd be happy to do a premiere. When are you publicly releasing the first chapter of book 42?
2 weeks from today. We can do another one in 2 weeks from today if you want.
I'd do a premiere. Yeah, that'd be fun.
Okay.
Yeah,
all right.
Put that on the calendar.
I
got nothing. Stay tuned for book 4, friends. And we'll be signing off here. So, any last comments? Speak now or forever hold your pieces.
All the pieces.
No,
that it. All right. Well, hey, everyone, fucking thank you for fucking tuning in. Thank you for listening. Fucking, I'm glad that y'all liked Smokepit Fairytales 3, the Paragon of Man, which, by the way, it was named that because there's a part in the Odyssey where Athena fucking, I don't know if she says this in jest or if she was completely serious when she turned her head to Odysseus and said, "You're the Paragon of Man." I don't know if she meant, "Odysseus, you are the Paragon of Man," or, "Yeah, you're the Paragon of Man." But, I mean, it's Athena. And, like, if there was any Greek goddess that I'd want to bone, it'd definitely be Athena because, no one else has done that yet. Virgin territory. Actually, I take that back. It would definitely be Venus because she knows how to work her lips, not the ones upstairs.
Sorry, I got distracted there for a second. Text coming in. But yeah, let's see. Goes to Johnny Cash. Remember, kids, don't do drugs unless they're free.
And love you too, guys.
Yeah.
On the flip side, catch y'all around. Also, tune back in. What's today? Today's Wednesday. Turn in Friday. We're gonna be talking to fucking Travis Wiedemann, who played the Fonz in book 2, and then he did a couple of rando jobs in the third one. He was the bounty hunter and De La Garza in this book, and 1 or 2 fucking other randos. So, see you Friday.
Peace. And that's that.